as I speak to you, about 2 lawmakers from the River State House of Assembly have withdrawn from the impeachment of Governor Siminala Ifumbara of River State. From that to all the insecurity issues, and the Katsina State government, their move to pardon 70 terrorists or bandits, as you call them, because they say, now onto peace deal, like exchange of prisoners during war. Good evening, Mr. Shego Shokito. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much
It's
for
always a
joining us.
pleasure to join you,
Thank you.
Precious. Well done for all the
Thank
good
you.
work that you're doing.
Oh, stop it. I like it. Thank you, sir. All right, Nigerians, let me run you through the hot topics that we have this evening very quickly, and then we'll begin to break them down one at a time. And I'll let you in on who exactly Mr. Shego Shokito is. All right, so let's go. Nigerian soldiers in Northeast demand end to repentant terrorist integration. Link deadly attacks to leaks. In case you don't understand, make a break and down. That is when as soldiers and when they fight terrorism for Northeast. They talk, say they don't want repentant terrorists again. In fact, they don't expose, say the one when they cost when they integrate, when they join repentant terrorists into army, they follow them fight. Say they don't link or they don't find out, say most of the deadly attack when they get when they cause the death of our soldiers. Now, because of the leak, the gossip, where we say this repentant terrorists, they carry go give their own follow former fighters, former terrorists. Then, I mean, people have been saying this before, but it's so sad that now the soldiers themselves are now the one crying out and saying that enough is enough. Bandits collect 6 million ransom or 6 million naira ransom, demand 14 million naira more motorbikes to free kidnapped Kogi farmer wey dem kidnap. They don't pay 6 million. They demand another 14 million, including motorcycle to join them. It shock you? This is Nigeria. Let's go on to other issues. Nigerian Army rescue 18 passengers from sea pirates after boat hijacking near Cameroon. And then 2 feared dead as bandits abduct wedding guests in Katsina State. Oh, by the way, the same bandits were supposed to free. Over 50 Ekoma protesters arrested. And this is very worrisome because people don't talk, say, waiting happen now, waiting happen. Yeah, moving on. Court remands Edo Varsity students arrest for protesting against kidnapping. It's the same story. Edo police debunk viral claims of police station fire in Ekoma. Say blaze occurred in POA shops. That is Police Women Association shops in around there, but not the place. Now, Malami's money laundering investigation by EFCC started under Rashid Bawa. Olukoyede is saying, so it's not witch hunts, that's what you talk. And then police invite Rivers ex-SSG over alleged leak plot to assassinate Wiki. Heavy security at Kano government house over Governor Yusuf's rumored defection to APC. And an impeachment, talking about Fubara's impeachment, we hear it's plot, the impeachment plot in River State is driven by godfatherism, legislative overreach. This is according to diaspora professionals. And Labour Party not for sale, Usman Spitfire on Aburi and others. 2027 ADC will be doomed if it fails to field Peter Obi, Fayoshe. Now in the talk this one. 2027, how to easily unseat TINUBU, Dele Momodu, whose candidate is Atiku, is also saying it. 2027 APC engineering crisis in PDP, NNPP, Labour Party to ensure no party survives. ADC, now in the talk this one. Third mainland bridge rehabilitation cost 43 billion naira. Oga Omahi now in the talk. As soon as don't inaugurate on a 40 billion naira CCTV for third mainland bridge. Well, awesome, right? Okay. Now Chibamanda's son's death. Nigerian anesthetics seek involvement in Lagos probe as she gives the hospital ultimatum to release child's death record, medical records. Abubakar Musa's detention, TINUBU government arresting students, entertainers for criticizing him. Family members says so, and Atiku says so too. And then 32 vessels to arrive Lagos ports with petroleum products, food items to NPA. Where is TINUBU? Peter Obi has demanded answers as Nigeria faces 141 million extreme poverty. And this is not government, it's negligence. P2P questions TINUBU's whereabouts again. Okay, so let's see. Moving on to other issues very quickly before we begin to break them. I had to take my time to read the headlines because we can't treat all of the issues on the headline. 2027, Orji Carlo, other APC chieftains using TINUBU's name to criticize Governor Uti. They have failed. This is according to the Age. Fubara yet to receive notice as impeachment proceedings heads to the rocks. Impeachment, your action and assault to TINUBU must up, tells Rivers Assembly. And then Office of Nigerian Government Secretary, Judge Akume, that is SGF, to spend 496 million naira only on photocopier machines, furniture in 2026. Only 496 million naira, you know. When we have new wives, we have to spend more money printing documents. Sorry, for the government. Sorry, it's actually for government. Nigeria police clear Senator Elisha Abo of alleged rape of 13-year-old. Advice court trial legal review. And Nigerian group accuses US of killing 32 Cubans in Venezuela. In case you don't understand this, Nigerian group, they say, US, how dare you kill 32 Cubans inside Venezuela? Why are you people doing this? Remember the day we had solidarity, Nigerian Venezuela solidarity supporters, demanding that, why did you invade Venezuela? Nigeria's Agricultural Mechanization Agency budgets 700 million naira for rice distribution in one Kwara community, just one community. They go use 700 million, distribute the rice. Okay. All right, then. Let's go very quickly. Nigerian Army rescues 18 passengers from sea pirates. I think we treated that earlier. And yes, CCTV captures during fresh kidnapping in Ekpoma a day after resident protests incessant abductions in Edo State. Residents whom have now been arrested and are detained for protesting. Okay. Police military launch air and ground assault on bandits in Kogi, Kwara State. Well, all of these and more issues we'll be treating this evening. But let's quickly invite Mr. Segun Shopito. Mr. Segun Shopito is one of Nigeria's finest financial experts, and he's here to join us in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us again, Mr. Segun Shopito. Thank you very much. I appreciate you big time.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir. I like us to begin with this issue about insecurity. Say you get as a thing they pain for body when they hear all this insecurity. And the reason why it's important to me is that, we can still be thinking it's something distant until it comes close to you. It never near us. Now, we could never know, seeing and waiting everybody they talk about. Now, in Ekpoma, Edo State, they have been facing incessant insecurity attacks, incessantly. And they have been complaining about, in fact, I hear that Ekpoma Auchi area and a no-go area. Not be today it starts. Seeing it's not this it starts. Now, the youth thought they are tired and they can't have it anymore. They staged the protest on Saturday, demanding an end to the insecurity because it's always a kidnap case. And to be fair, people are saying that, they are profiling northerners, that most of the people attacking them are Fulani people attacking them. But they are saying it's not profiling because most of the people who caused this attack now people where they speak a particular language. Remember, saying I still that Ekpoma area near Uromi, 9 waiting happen to 11 alleged hunters. But this keeps happening. Now, people from this same kind of tribe keep attacking people from this area. In fact, just after the youths had their protest on Saturday, a CCTV footage showed where attack happened in someone's home. Somebody does a drive enter a house. You will see him. The person does a drive enter a house immediately. Now they start. Now they see coming from different angles to attack the person. That's the footage. And of course, whisked my way to the nearest forest. This is a recurrent issue. I mean, if you're familiar with the Harrison issues, the couple, husband and wife, whom he was trying to treat their issue, it was still about the same thing. They just arrived to their house in their car, and next thing, people just gather them, whisk them away. So it's a recurrent thing. And in all of this, youth are trying to protest, and they're saying enough of the insecurity. Instead of providing them security or assuring them that they will be secured, these youths have now been arrested and, of course, taken to court. 52 of them. Let me take your input, sir.
It's very, very, especially for somebody like me. I mean, okay, as a financial expert and all of that, but I actually wear 2 caps. I'm also,
of course, I know you do
chairman of a
other
civil society organization.
Yes.
I'm a good governance advocate, and
Yes, accountability candle. Mm.
and an activist in my own right. Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I have always advocated for, I don't hear enough people say it, is that no democracy, no democratic society works and delivers governance to the people without the active engagement of citizens. So that's why some of us in the civil society space have something we call the office of the citizen, where you are expected, if you want your country to work, you're expected to engage governments, in terms of questioning them, demanding accountability,
Mhm.
and so on and so forth. So to hear one of the things that I've always said, and I've been advocating this very heavily on the tax matter, I know you said we're going to talk about that later, that we have to hold our government accountable. People ask me how, and I say, number one, use your platform, whatever platform that is available to you, whether it's Twitter, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, your WhatsApp status, whatever it is that two or three eyeballs will see. Talk there, right? The other thing that I always advocate for is protest. That, there is no society, check it out. France, the United Kingdom, the United States, Germany, all these places, in fact, even in places like China, where they don't run a democracy and it's actually some sort of centrist authoritarian government, they protest. We had the citizens of Hong Kong protest for 9 months, about 2 years ago, or was it last year, right? As a result of these citizen-led actions, governments are compelled to do the bidding of the people. So, for me, that I've always spoken on air, that people actually went out to protest, especially against this insecurity problem. And then they got arrested and they've been arraigned in court, and the court has ordered their remand. It is a travesty. And I am going to, look, let me not say too much, but we have to do something about this. We will not be silent. Very similar incidents happened in Kwara State, I think last week
Mhm.
or 2 weeks ago, where women came to protest against this same insecurity issue. That, look, this kidnapping, is too much, and some hoodlums came out to attack them, to beat them up, and the video that showed this thing had 2 or 3 police officers basically supervising the hoodlums and directing them and guiding them on what to do. I mean, this has got to stop. We can't develop a society that works if citizens are afraid to protest, right? So I think I'd like to call upon everybody in the civil society space to speak out, against this. We can't allow it. Those people must be released. It is not a crime to protest, even if So one of the accusations, obviously, is that they were vandalizing things. They pulled down campaign billboards because they say that, look,
Billboard
how can
campaign. Should they not be aggrieved that the people
yeah,
that they put in charge of their security
exactly,
in fact, are not living
exactly.
up to? So, is that enough to
Exactly.
arrest them?
So it's a crime to destroy public property, you know. But in a society where the leaders, the political office holders are sensitive to the people, they must know that it was insensitive in this period where people are dying in droves every week in this country, are campaigning for an election that is still a year plus away. So there should have been some sort of standing
What is it?
context to that will allow the security agents to simply stop them efforts to disperse them, tear metal cannon, send them home. That's all right. That's how it works. But to then arrest them and arraign them because they protested and maybe some things got destroyed. How do you as the protesters that destroyed those things? How do you prove it wasn't some miscreants that were planted amongst them by politicians? So I think this has to be condemned, and these people, somebody must stand up to fight for them. We will
So,
see what we can do in that
Mr.
regard.
Bishop Peter,
So
if you recall, you noticed that this looks like it's been the stock in trade for the APC administration from the beginning of the APC administration. Every time we see a protest, it's that there is a counter protest or we see arrest and clamp down of protesters. Worse in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. I'm sorry if I have to say that, but it looks like that's what it's become. What do we make of this, especially for a president who claimed he fought for democracy, and to find it difficult to look at, to withstand dissenting voices? Well, what do you make of it?
It's very unfortunate, because ironically, 2012 Occupy protests, I was very active in the Joint Action Force, Mr. Biodun Aremu, and quite a number of other people. I went from the head office of this organization of activists from Yaba. We trekked all the way from Yaba to Ojota on that fateful day at the start of that protest. And it's ironic that people like this same president were a part of that. In fact, they provided funding. So to find that now, under his watch, either directly or indirectly, under the APC, NSAS massacre happened. It's a travesty and it's very unfortunate. And I think that the president really has to be very careful and be mindful of the weight of history, because look, we're all going to die one day. But what history says about how you have been long gone is really what will be remembered about you. And if we remember him as the Democrat turned despot, then that would be a terrible legacy for him to leave. So I would like to caution that he should step in, and wherever this excess is, sometimes some of these things are perpetrated by overzealous people who are sycophants and want to please the president. If that is the case, then we want to see him step in, speak out for the people. He doesn't speak to Nigerians enough. It's very unfortunate. It's almost as if he's an absentee president. Do you know that this president has not had a media chat since we started?
He
since
has.
This
No, he has.
media chat.
I'm
not talking of addresses.
You want Ruben Abati and Co.
How many media chats has he? Okay.
He has one.
He's had one. He's had one. Buhari, who was accused of being very reticent, to Nigerians enough, had several media chats, doing his other meeting who as a Democrat, and he had better step in. But having said that, I think that Nigerians must continue to protest, put in jail, no matter how many people are killed, God forbid, we have to continue to protest, precious, because that's the only way. The only way to get a society that will work for you is to demand it of the politicians. Politicians will never give you the society of their own volition, willingly and happily, that they will just say, oh, let's just be good. Let's just do projects. Let's just make sure that these people are. The politician anywhere in the world does that. It's not just a Nigerian thing. Whether it's in the UK or in Denmark, the best democracies around the world, do the will of the people, is that the people demand it and they protest, they make noise, they make life uncomfortable for the politicians. So even if it will come at the cost of some discomfort and maybe shedding of blood, God forbid, so be it. That's a journey that we must travel. We've got to be afraid of dying unless we don't want to get to heaven. Because nobody goes to heaven alive, We're all going to die.
All right. So earlier today, I think on Channels Television, a representative of Egboma was interviewed to address some of these issues they're facing. Here's what he had to say on Channels Television.
Question and confirm that that is what is happening in a part of Ekpoma in Edo State, where there's some form of animosity reportedly being demonstrated against people of northern extraction, particularly herders.
All right, thank you very much. You see, I always tell people for a very long time, for more than 2 years, we've been fighting this. And what we observe and what we've discovered is that this is not just Fulani issue. What we observe is there is an agenda, okay? There's an agenda. I don't want to put it out that it's an Islamization agenda, except you want to coin it that way. That some of the, like, if you go to so many states in Nigeria, you will see for yourself that these guys are taking lands. So the agenda is to take land. That is why if you go to deep down, I don't want to give other locations now because we're online. You go to deep down into some of our bushes in Uromi, in Ubiaja, you will see that these guys has their own, is like is like a village. They have a village of their own that the villagers are not even aware of, or many of the villagers are not aware of. So though they are collaborating with some of the villagers, because I believe that some people are funding this. So I also believe that whatever we are seeing now is just little compared to what will happen if this is not combed. This is not about Edo State alone, which we have seen. It's about Nigeria in general. It's about what is coming to Nigeria if nothing is done. And there is no way this can be fought if the youth of the village, and when I mean the youth, I'm not talking about few vigilantes, I'm not talking about few policemen, I'm talking about the youth in general be involved in the security totally. This is only when we'll be able to solve this problem. But if we leave it to government actually do not have much to say in tackling it. Why am I saying it? Because there are infidel in the government as it is, in the government parastatals, that will prevent the work from going on. So Okpewolo, which is the governor of Edo State, trying his best, but there are people that will sabotage this energy is putting in, so which will make it so futile. So till a large number of the youth come together to say we are stopping this, it is impossible to stop the insecurity anywhere in, whether it is anywhere, any state in Nigeria.
Let me take it to Boogie. Boogie, if you listen to him attentively, he's laid allegations about Islamization.
All right, sir. This is very, very troubling. I don't know if you listened to what he said. He said that this is about grabbing their land, and it is not about Ekuma people alone. That this is something that is going on in Nigeria, and that these people from a particular part of Nigeria, like a speaker for Pidgin, say in fact they the area for inside Ekoma where they don't like saying a Fulani village when I then don't they there, nobody fit take them from them, they don't surround there already. And it's this whole thing that is happening, how can it be happening without government? How can president say he doesn't know about this? Is it even possible? Because the same complaint in Benue State, the same complaint in Plateau State, the same complaint. Why? What is going on? If there is a systematic capture or annihilation of a group of people, how would the people ruling your country say they don't know about this? I've got a guest here who I've had a guest who has been here before who said that the first way to know the real people who are responsible for all of this crisis is to find out those who stay in the occupied lands. Shebi will get people waiting for land, where get land and where they know they live there again because of say them pursue them. I mean, insecurity make them, they don't do IDP. So who are those people occupying that lands? If government is sincere, they should try and fish out those occupying those lands. But what is going on? Because this is an accusation. Edo State here, it's no longer in North Central and Middle Belt and all that. It is now Edo State here. That means it's getting closer. Let me take your input, sir.
You know, what we've said, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Great.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
All right. So what we've been saying, what we'll be doing now, with regards to especially this herdsmen problem, you know, like you, I don't like the idea of profiling, but the truth has to be said now. The truth of the matter is that the people that have been doing these rampages, all of the killings that have been in the Middle Belt and what we call the North Central now in the basin, they're part stock now. They are Fulani, and this is not something that we can deny. So it's not ethnic profiling. It's just stating the fact. It's not necessarily to say that all Fulani men are headsmen, are militants, or are killers, or whatever. I don't know that actually have a lot of Fulani people, Christians. So we say Fulani headsmen. We're not saying that all Fulani bad people. So we put that out there because I don't like profiling conversation at all. But having said that, look, there's something behind all of this. There's something that is going on. We have to assume the president knows about this particular president and the presidents before him, and that they're unwilling to do anything about, because it's impossible. You know, the things that happen, the things that have been happening, those killings in Yelta, and all of the ones that have happened before that and after that, these incursions into Kogi State, into Ekiti, Ondo, you know, into parts of Kwara State now.
you know, and now down to Edo State, those incursions are impure.
There is even Ondo. There is Ondo and Oyo State,
you know,
in the mix now.
Yes.
There is Ondo and Oyo State
Yes.
in the mix right now.
Yes.
Have been going on in Oyo
So
State.
if you pick up a map of Nigeria, so if you pick up a map of Nigeria, right, and you look at it, if you look at a map of Nigeria, you will see that, I mean, this thing that we're talking about is just where it's all over Nigeria. The only part of Nigeria at the moment that is not really affected to a very large and significant extent is the southeast and the south. You know, southwest now, these guys are making incursions into the southwest. And like that young man said,
south now. Edo State is south.
That's
and
what. It's south, but it's still upper south. Yes, I agree. So what you're seeing happening is that the states that are contiguous to the north central region, Ondo border Kogi and Kwara, right? Enugu borders Benue. Okay, so we're seeing that the physical proximity of these states to the hotbed of these activities is now beginning to feel the brunt, which means they are advancing southwards. And if the president continues to keep quiet, you know, this thing, God forbid, will consume the country. And, you know, like the young man said, what is actually happening, and I've always said this, that this is really an economic problem. It's actually the fact that, look, I know Fulani heads, I've seen Fulani headsmen, Precious. The last time I went to Kwara State, all through the I drove from and then to a village further away from Ilorin. I was running into herdsmen all through that journey. They were herding their cattle, you know. These are the herdsmen that I have been aware of, that I've known from the days when I was a young boy, you know, with their stick and their machete, you know, to cut through the bush and maybe even attack some people's arms and what have you. But you will not see AK-47. A herdsman that goes into a village with a sophisticated machine gun and mows down 300 people, shoots them, throws bombs, houses on fire. That's not a herdsman. That is a criminal. That's a terrorist. So first of all, I think we need to understand the nature of this problem, and it is a land grabbing problem. What they're doing is that they're doing displacement. They're doing territorial displacement. They are chasing off the people that are the occupied towns and replacing them with their citizens with the sole intention of taking that land to use to feed cattle. Who is giving the guns to those people? Where are they of them and seeing them close strangers? Actually, not even Nigerians. That you know the Fulani tribe far beyond Nigeria through Sahel region, West African region, and all of that, even right up to some part of East Africa, right? And you can tell the difference both in terms of the look, but also the version of Fulfude that they speak. The Fulani language is called Fulfude. The language they speak, the intonation, people have said, yes, people have said that that's not a Nigerian Fulani man. So who is bringing them here, right? How do they traverse the very vast land between the border states of, Sokoto, Dobe, and all of those places that they must traverse before they get all the way down? So how it's happening? So there is something very sinister that has the involvement of powerful people in government that we are not speaking to, and that the president has the capacity to address, but that he is not addressing. It's very unfortunate, but we have to keep saying these things. This, box shifting, profiling, explaining it away, calling it communal clashes, and all of that. That's very unfortunate rhetoric. This very terrible problem has got to stop. The president has to do better than what we're seeing now and put an end to this. Elections are now just a year and just a month or two away now. The president has to wake up. unless we need our votes, and it's a conversation that maybe he doesn't after all.
All right. So, in the midst of all of this, and while Nigerians are worried, I mean, our security agencies are also left out in this worry. According to this exclusive report, the Nigerian soldiers battling Boko Haram insurgents in the northeast have renewed calls on military authorities at all level and all level of governance or government to halt the integration of what they called it so-called repentant terrorists into security services. They are alleging that the policy has caused insider leaks and deadly attacks that have taken lives of many soldiers in Nigeria. Now, a military source who spoke to Sahara Reporters Day release this said frontline troops have begun a fresh appeal to their superiors, warning that the continued absorption of former insurgents is compromising operations. In fact, I have seen a soldier do TikTok or make TikTok videos complaining that most times when they pair them with a repentant Fulani, that they don't trust that repentant Fulani. In fact, one of the soldiers had said before that when they shoot, when they won't go or go shoot, a Fulani person, why they shoot the people? Not shoot them like that again now. Not shoot them like that. Like it's hurting him that he's attacking the bandits that are all there to attack. A soldier is telling him, no, they shoot like that now. Why they shoot them like that? You know, that kind of thing. A soldier has said that on the streets of social media. So this is worrisome. So for the soldiers to come out to say that enough is enough, we can't take this anymore. In fact, according to the source, they said, in our camps now, we soldiers don't trust these former Boko Haram members anymore. In fact, we have started distancing ourselves from them. They have their different places they sleep. They said so. The source continued. We discovered recently that our operations and movements are being linked to Boko Haram fighters, and nobody could do that if not these repentant terrorists. They are the ones selling us out now. That is why soldiers are appealing to top commanders to stop forcing us to work with these people. We don't trust them. That's what I say. In fact, one of those soldiers who spoke on the streets of social media did say that because your partner who works with you as a soldier is supposed to be watching your back. But when you have somebody whom you're not sure will watch your back, watching your back, who may even, blow up on you, what happens? So that's a problem. Did he have to take the soldiers to complain for the night? In fact, would the Nigerian government even act? Because there's always been denial of whether or not they're integrated into the security. Let me take your input, sir.
On this Boko Haram thing, I have my very strong reservations. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe that that any government anywhere in the world would have it right and capture enemy combatants. These are enemy combatants, please. They are exchanging bullets. Then you've seen some of the gory videos of Nigerian battle, and you will tell me that people that were involved in that were recruited to now the Nigerian army. Precious, I don't believe it's bold to say that it's not true. It's impossible, and I don't think I want to give credence to that. That's a very fantastic story. What I am aware of is that there is a unsafe corridor, the radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program, right?
Yes.
The DRR, and that program is primarily designed to reintegrate Boko Haram low-risk operatives, usually non-combatants, and low-risk combatants. I'm telling you the official position of what that program is meant to be.
I'm looking at you with the low-risk combatants. And so that you tell me the metrics in identifying the low-risk combatants.
No, they have the metrics for defining it. They will tell you that if the person, so that program is not designed to de-radicalize anybody that has attained leadership position in the hierarchy of the terrorists. So it has to be foot soldiers to start with, and usually non-combatants. So people that are, for example, people that work for them in their logistics framework, people that cook for them, people that are involved with their criminality, but they are not carrying gun and killing people. Now, this Operation Safe Corridor, which is a DRR program, and by the way, DRR programs are programs that have been tried in other parts of the world, the Philippines, and all of that, where they've had this type of insurgent, and it has been seen to have worked to a certain level of success. Most important part of this DRR program is that they have categorically stated that it is not that the graduates, if you like, the program lasts about 1 year. They are held in facilities, they are de-radicalized, they are re-socialized, psychologists and all of that will speak to them, but that they are not absorbed into any of the security services. This is the official position. How do you think it will? It makes no sense to me, right? And I really am a very logical person. That somebody who used to carry gun and shoot my soldiers, I will capture them and I will now give them gun again to stand side by side with my soldiers to fight their own former colleagues. It makes no sense.
Mr. Shopito, remember
sorry,
that
Precious, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the report, and I must tell you that I have my reservations about certain media outlets who I have known, proven by my own personal research, to have floated several times. So this particular source that you are quoting, a number of times have been caught on the wrong side of the truth when it comes to information. So see things from them. I kind of am a bit.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I've also been a victim of that. But then looking at the substance of the issue, it's not news that we have heard before now, not even from this source, that there is a reintegration or there's an absorption of repentant fighters into our security apparatus. Government had denied it. Then there was a time government came out to say that the people who should take responsibility for that are the governors. Listen, I think Army came out to say that at some point that the governors should take responsibility because they are they're the ones who submit names of people that are recruiting to them, and they ought to have done their due diligence before giving them those names. So they take names across Nigeria. So when you give us name, we will take the name where you give us. So looking at a governor of Katsina State, for instance, now releasing 70 bandits, and defending that release and saying that if you have too much, Mr. Shegu, go to court and go to court and go and contest why we don't have to release these bandits. So looking at a government like that, for instance, Katsina State at some point to negotiated with bandits. So looking at a government like that, does it seem to you like the government may not, knowingly or unknowingly, infuse such names of these same people that they've now released now into military or into any security apparatus tomorrow if there's an opening? That's the question. Understanding how Nigeria works.
Yeah, so one of the things that I do know is that to get into the security services, especially the army, the military, is not that easy. And I don't think, I'm not aware.
It's not that easy. It's easy for people from a particular part of the country, remember.
Well, I understand what you're saying and it's happening. And if there's an official position from the Nigerian army that is shifting the buck, passing the buck to governors to say you are the one sending all these funny people to us, then I think whoever released that statement and whoever they report to and the person they report to also reports to should be fired. Because the army is the security service, you have to do your absolute extreme thorough screening process, background checks, to right down to, in some instances, family lineage to the second or third generation to check who these people are before you give the guns of the country into their hands, right? So if the army is coming out now to say that it is the governor that is sending people to us and all of that, then that would be very, very net. And whoever is releasing that statement must be sanctioned, because that means that they feel their responsibility to screen the quality of materials that they're taking into these security services that are responsible for securing the territorial integrity of Nigeria. How can you have people held guns that are enemy combatants and now standing on the front line side by side with our our own people, you know, they're willing.
But
You know, because those people will know.
Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry, but let me quickly remind you this. Just recently, we heard that a member of Mieti Allah was caught with an NSA assigned rifle. And the NSA's office, or the office of the NSA, hasn't denied that. Say, oh, the local vigilantes we gave those rifles to. Now you give vigilantes of Fulani extraction rifle. The same Mieti Allah has had before taken responsibility of some killings in Benue State. Remember, Mieti Allah. Am I wrong? During Samuel Otom's administration. And then these same people are complaining that they come to their land, take over their land, kill them. You now give them, whether they are the good ones or the bad. I mean, you've not been able to sieve them and prove to us that you've sieved the, you know, wheat from the chaff or whatever it is. And then you're now telling us that you're giving them a government assigned rifle as vigilante, not in a Fulani land. Okay, sir. So let me know what you make of that. Considering, I mean that is exactly
even if it's yeah, I mean, even if it's Fulani land, you know, that will still be wrong. You can't give the guns that are bought with taxpayers' money to people that have not gone military training as designed by the Nigerian army. You can't take guns from the National Security Advisor or even the Nigerian police to hand over to a joint task force, or, you know, it's so I think that those types of things actually happen. I'm aware from different reports, you know, and all of that, that these things happen. We've seen cases where soldiers were arrested in the process of trafficking arms and ammunition of the Nigerian army and handing them out and over, you know, to kidnappers, bandits, you know, and all of that. So these things do happen. Very unfortunate. Whichever soldiers are responsible for heinous, because that's a heinous crime. You are an enemy of the state. It's treason. And if you are caught trading, giving, you know, arms and ammunition bought with taxpayers' money to enemies of the state, then you yourself are an enemy of the state, and you should face the music very well. And whatever the consequences are, you know, you take them on board. So such practices are very unfortunate. If there is any kind of reintegration going on, I really hope not. But if it is, then, you know, that would be very unfortunate, because we'll basically be risking the lives of our combatants. Now, what I do know, I think one thing that we cannot deny is that within the ranks of the Nigerian military, because of the ideological issue and the religious issue, there are sympathizers. Within the military ranks, there are sympathizers. Within of our politicians, there are sympathizers to the cause of the bandits, the foreign headsmen, and Boko Haram. There are sympathizers. And this is something that we cannot deny. So, for example, the very, very unfortunate incident where a big brigadier general, as high as that, was shot summarily, you know, almost like on live TV. We know now from the information that has come out that his location was compromised. And that compromise happened from within the ranks of the military. So who did that? So I think that we have a very serious problem on our hands, where even our soldiers, our brave soldiers, are not safe. You know, I traumatized from watching the video of that gentleman being shot. I saw the moment he realized that his end had come. I saw it in his eyes in that video. And that image is stared into the back of my head. God will help me to get rid of that image eventually. It's very traumatic, you know, because I'm a man, I'm a father, I'm a husband. You know, to get to a point where it suddenly dawns on you that, and it is because now the truth of that thing and how it have not heard, we don't know. How did it happen? How come there's been no consequence? How come heads did not roll? How did the Boko Haram people, how did they pinpoint his location to that point? Why hasn't anything been said about it? So really, we have a lot of compromise, you know, sabotage, you know, going on within the ranks of our security services, and it's very unfortunate.
All right, sir. So that we don't take a lot of time with this, let's quickly move into politics and other issues that's got to do with politics. Very quickly, let me take the reaction. I think Christopher Musa was was a guest on a program like during the weekend, and he had this to say about those who sponsor or who support or encourage these bandits. But a lot of people just see it as mere talks because government will always talk, but what need to do? You know what he said about a friend of a thief being a thief? That's what he said. But does he hold any water? That's what a lot of people would say. Let's basically listen to him.
I see the president has consistently stood up for the armed forces, supported the armed forces, encouraged us, and has given us a mandate for the armed forces to ensure that there is peace in Nigeria. Our call is for Nigerians, one, those that are still supporting those bandits, criminals, insurgents, terrorists, should stop. Because they say the friend of a thief is a thief. For us, if we get to the battlefield and you are among them, then whatever happens to them happens to you. And it's important for those good Nigerians to provide necessary information as quickly as you see something, say something, so that action should be taken. And the
all right, so I mean that's the Minister for Defense. They're speaking very, fiery. We do hope that we'll see change coming very soon. But let's go straight to politics. A lot has been happening in politics. Let's begin with my dear. I don't want to begin with my dear River State. Let's just go to other issue. River State conversation, or the conversation around governance in River State traumatizes me, just like other issues traumatizes you. So going to the ADC and 2027 election, a lot of people have different so people have a lot to say about the election, while some groups think that someone like Ayodele Fayoshi has said that the only living thing in the ADC is Peter Obi, because if ADC makes the mistake of not fielding a Peter Obi or someone as strong as he is, then it's as good as just dashing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu the ticket to go back again. Do you think we have a very formidable opposition in the ADC? I'd like to
know. You see, this ADC matter is I don't know what to call it. It's an irony and a bit of a comedy to me. But that's this situation with Nigeria politics. It's all tragic comedy. You look at 80% of the characters. 80%, rough figure off the top of my head. These characters were in the APC. People were in the APC in 2014. They formed. Some of them were in the PDP. David Mark, who is the chairman, the chairman of this ADC now. He was in the PDP at that time. I think he was still Senate president at that time. 2014. So we're talking 11 years ago.
I think I have there's an issue with your audio. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. We can hear you now.
So L5, I can just name them on and on. Majority of these characters were either in the or in the PDP in 2014, and they formed a coalition just like this to save Nigerians from the PDP in 2014. The same people who left the PDP they left the PDP, they left the AMPP, some of them left APGA to form the APC. They joined forces with TINUBU's ACN to save Nigeria from PDP, right? Those same people who were part of government for about 9-10 years now, some of them stayed in the PDP in opposition, maybe as governors or whatever in other states. Those same people who left PDP to join APC to save Nigeria has left APC to join ADC to save Nigeria. Look, if we can, this will help. Unfortunately, that's the nature of politics. Mr. Peter Obi joining that platform, I guess he feels that it's pragmatic expediency, it's political expediency for him. He feels that the lady's position is no longer tenable. He probably believes that doing it alone to join a YPP or some other, cleaner party and then carry his movement with him. Maybe he feels that he'll be making the same mistake he made in 2023, where Atiku took some votes, because the argument and the political calculation always been that if you add Atiku's 6.3 8 million votes.
8 million.
To Peter Obi 6.1 million votes. Yeah. Yes, to Peter Obi 6.1, that they would have won by landslide. You know, they would have defeated the APC, and this president would not have emerged. I think it is because they have now all come together. Now, the challenge is now get under one DC. Who is going to take the lead? Who is going to step down for who? And I tell you, it's a question that you are not going to be able to answer, because Atiku Abubakar wants to be president. It's a lifelong ambition. I do. And I think that Fayose saying that it will be the biggest mistake, I don't know about that. I don't know, because look, we have President Donald Trump in the United States today. Nobody gave that half a chance. Nobody gave him half a chance to win in 2015. Not to talk of losing a re-election bid and winning again in 2024. I mean, when was it that he won that election? 2024. You know, nobody gave him a chance. So to write Atiku off with the years of experience he has, with the PDM machinery behind him, he has a very strong look. This guy got 6.8 million votes. Whether they were rigged votes or not, he got 6.8 million votes in the last election. You can't write him off. So I think Fayose is, you know, is trying to be smart, you know, and doing political talk. I think Peter Obi has his work cut out for him. I don't know how he's going to navigate this water. I don't know whether he will accept to be vice president to Atiku, and then Atiku serves one term, then he cannot become president in 2031. I don't know if that will work for him and his followers, the obedience. I'm not sure. But the ADC presents a conundrum both to the political class and to the voting Nigerian public, because majority of the characters in that place, most Nigerians don't want them, you know, but it's like people don't have a choice. They just feel like anything but Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But that's what we said. But Jonathan, all of us, he showed us Shege Pro Max. Let's see where we are, where we were. That Buhari was the worst president that we've ever had, and now here we are. Here we are. Things are still worse. So you know, we're in a bit of a conundrum.
Do you think that Buhari perhaps may be better than Tinubu in terms of performance?
No, he was better. No, he was better. I make bold to say that. You see, the reason I say that, Buhari was a better president than President Tinubu is today, and you know, I'll tell you why I say so. A lot of people bandy for economic figures. Look, I am a finance professional. I'm an economic analyst. You're right? I understand numbers thoroughly. Those numbers are useless and meaningless as far as the life of the ordinary man on the street has not improved. So talking about GDP, oh, you took subsidies out. Now Nigeria's finances, the fiscal structure is balanced. We are now building a structure and we can build a future on it. In a country that is riddled with corruption, where are the subsidy savings? What Buhari said, I will never forget that interview that I had with Al Jazeera. They asked him on Al Jazeera that the IMF and the world have been saying that you should remove subsidy and that you should float your currency. And why haven't you done so? He said, I will never do it. They said, oh, really? Why? Because my people are poor. He said, my people are poor and it will make them poorer. Has there not been problem, right?
We thought Buhari was as unintelligent as
exactly.
We thought he was.
He understood that very basic stuff, very basic. He got it. Are people better off today? Precious. People are poorer. There are still people today. Let's forget, you know, you and I and the average middle class in quotes Nigerian who is God has been.
I don't know about you, but me, I did the question. I poor.
Madam shift.
No, I poor.
Poor people don't they do content. No, they do content. No, do you know the resources that you have deployed?
Now, anger they make me they give the information that they give, not the content.
Look. The truth of the matter is that statistically, there is statistical evidence, data that Nigerians are worse off today. The betterness, in quotes, pardon my very terrible English, the betterness may come in future, you know, assuming that we had a ship that is honest, that is truthful, and that deploys the resources of the state for the benefit of the people. Maybe 3-4 years from today, we would have seen the benefits and the gains of these reforms, in quote. But we don't. We don't. And Buhari knew that. That's why the man did not remove subsidy. That's why he would have rather bankrupted the country than remove subsidy. Which bankruptcy are we talking about? We're just lying to ourselves. Because the country doesn't have to go bankrupt if you stop distilling. Calculate just 10 politicians on the fingers of the two hands, 10 of them. Calculate the billions. It runs into trillions of naira that were stolen by politicians under Buhari alone. Trillions. The same trillions that we say were spent on subsidies that was going to bankrupt this country was also being stolen by politicians. So Buhari knew this and refused to remove subsidy. This man has now come now. He's the one that has courage. He's the one that has chest. He removed the subsidy. Look at where he has left us. So sorry, Buhari was better because Buhari at least cared for the poor. No matter how dumb he was, no matter how corrupt people claim he was, no matter how clueless as an economic leader he was, no matter how bad the structure of the economy was that he left behind, he made sure that we continue to buy petrol at less than 200 naira, per liter. And that had a significant impact on the ability of the people to live. This president, in my opinion, they are far worse off, and therefore is a worse president. Simple analysis.
Okay, so what do you make of this new tax, this very robust and big tax reform that he's brought in, and that has been very controversial with the up and down going on? Everybody don't criticize the tax reform, but it's not the best thing when they do. So they will go even higher. We even take a template from France, where they help us do the thing. In fact, KPMG, a renowned organization like KPMG, criticize the reforms. Yeah. And online they say, no, KPMG, you don't know what they talk about. You don't sabi anything. And I don't know what that they talk about. For KPMG not to know what they're saying, and it's only our please. So what do you make of that?
This particular subject, of course, I am convicted. You see, I have the school of thought that without taxes, if you don't pay taxes as a people, you cannot develop.
Yes.
You can't develop if you don't pay taxes. So
that should be an ideal thing.
Exactly. So I support any attempt to robustly reform our tax administration structure and get more people to pay taxes so that the revenues of government can significantly bump up, so that money can be used to develop the lives of the people. But there are two problems, and that's why I'm conflicted. So on the one hand, I understand the fundamentals of the tax reform. Bad law. It's not a bad law. Forget the politics. It's not a bad law. The problem with it is twofold. Number one, the social contract, like you just said, right? There is no guarantee that the monies that are going to be realized from these reforms will be used to develop the life of the Nigerian. There is no guarantee that they will build road, hospital, school, that they will provide social services, that they will make the life of the Nigerian better. There is no guarantee. In fact, what we know from the evidence of history is that the money is going to be stolen. The evidence. So we don't need to guess, right? Unless the president puts
from the proceeds or from the savings
from the subsidies. Exactly. Exactly. And today, instead of us seeing the proceeds of the subsidy improving the lives of the people, the president has all of a sudden now remembered that the governors are the ones responsible. Go and ask your governor. When he was removing subsidy and when his people were talking about it, they didn't say it is the governors that are going to administer the money. They said the money will be deployed to improve social services. It will be used to build infrastructure. But now we're being told, they are pointing us to go to your governor. Go and ask your governor. Imagine that. Is it the governor that removed the subsidy? You are the one that removed the subsidy. You are the one that is distributing the money to them. So you to the people. So that problem is actually one major problem that I have with the tax reform, the accountability question. The second problem I have is that the timing is terrible. It is inhuman and wicked. You see, you know why I say so? You have taken subsidies out. The removal of subsidy bumped up cost of living by at least 100% because everything revolves around the petroleum sector. Petrol, diesel powers this country. We don't have electricity, right? That's one. Then
and even the electricity has been
Immediately
inflated
after.
too by government. So I mean, it's where
Even the electricity has gone up.
I'm telling you,
and it's not available. And it has been inflated, not available.
I hope you know that it's going up constantly, because recently
Exactly.
it's gone up again.
I know.
Good.
I know. I'm aware. Now, in addition to that, shortly after removing subsidy, the president liberalized the exchange rate, the foreign exchange market, and floated the currency, which was actually devaluation. And we moved from 450 naira official rate to, we got to 1,007. That is 16 divided by 4 is fourfold. It's a fourfold increase in exchange rate in a country where everything is imported, right? So of course, cost of living exploded and inflation went through the roof. We not recovered from these two policies that have made life unbearable for Nigerians. You now want to introduce another major one, you know, and the excuse that Mr. Oyedele gives is that, no, this will actually give succor to Nigerians, they will pay less taxes. Excuse me, sir. Inflation of this policy, prices are going up again. In fact, they have started going up. People are already doing preemptive price increase.
And things are high already.
People are already doing preemptive price increase, you know, because that's the nature of the human being. They must look out for themselves. They are afraid of replacement costs. They are afraid of what impact this will have, and that if it increases the cost of goods, they may be caught in between two worlds, and they, you know, stock that they've sold at the old prices. So they're already increasing prices. So now the reason inflation is going to go up is that a lot of people who are not paying taxes currently and who should be doing so will no longer be able to escape. The policy is very robust. They're going to use technology. Everybody is going to pay tax. There are people now who are getting more because that's about the corporate tax rate. And some are individuals who will be paying 25, 18% tax who are not currently paying. So that 18% to 30% loss of income, in quotes, that they are now going to take out of their profit to give the tax man. We're not doing it before. They are going to upload it. They're going to front load it on their selling price to go up. It is guaranteed. Now, if prices go up,
so that means we're paying for it indirectly.
Pay. The common man is going to pay. Exactly. So you can't say that they are not paying taxes. They are paying taxes because
the just below 1 million in a year and I'm not paying. I'm not going to be paying tax.
Exactly.
But I'm still
but I'm going to be spending more money. Yes, because I'm going to more money. That's my 800,000 that I'm not taxing, that you are not taxing. It's going to buy me about the tax rate equivalent, right? The tax rate equivalent is going to buy me less by the tax rate. So where I'm going to lose about that, it's not going to translate directly that way. You know, there will be an averaging effect and all that. I don't know by what percentage the inflation will go up, but the inflation will go up. In a country where we are just trying to recover from the recent inflationary trends to the point where the president has panel beaten and window dressed. We are panel. They don't panel beat. They panel beat and window dress inflation rates to try and make it look better. That's where we are. Inflation prices are still up. Precious, do you know that the price? Of course, you know you're a woman now. The price of eggs and the price of chicken went up. Has been going up. Till now.
The only thing that came down the rice came down a bit, but the prices of other things, including normal goods, dropped.
Exactly. Rice went down, beans went down, gari went down, but other things went up. Exactly. So yeah. So it's So it's a bit disingenuous for the Oyedele committee to tell us that Nigerians are going to be better off, blah blah blah. It's not true. We're going to have an inflationary effect as a result of this policy that is avoidable.
So you did not mention anything about France being included in this. Are you not worried about the involvement of France or the alpha beta template in this national taxing tax law?
You know, with political narrative in this country, I try as much as possible to maintain some independence of thought when it comes to these things. All right, and I don't like delving into things that are conjecture and just think. There is no evidence, as far as I know. Nobody has seen the MOU. The NRS,
but
they are not the NRS.
the FIRS responded to it. I'm sure you saw that response from FIRS.
NRS.
It was FIRS at the time they responded. Now this year they become NIRS. So permit me to say, I know I was aware of that.
It's like
I'm
NEPA.
very deliberate.
NEPA is still NEPA till tomorrow.
They don't change them. So they reacted to it, and they said that there is nothing wrong with borrowing such templates. Another country's template. That there are other countries that have succeeded by borrowing other countries' templates. And many would want to ask, how do you borrow a template, whatever it is, from a first world country to a third world country? The services where France they give their citizens as a result of the taxes within they pay. They give your citizens. I mean, see a Chimamanda Adichie, for instance, who had money. Her child still died because of one stupid license or the other. Now we still have people who are unable to access medical care because they don't have money. We still have people who can't eat because they don't have money. Meanwhile, in France, if you don't have money to eat, government will take care of it because you're not working. Do you understand? So are you willing to give us those services in France they give their people when they take? So are you not worried about that, or it doesn't?
I mean, so
oh dear. This network has been crazy. Please bear with me.
I think the problem really, the network is terrible, but can you hear me now?
Yes.
I thought they do have some sort of expertise. They have a structure that they've deployed successfully, and according to the NRS, this is purely like a hand-holding thing, because we are going to be deploying technology. They have assured us that the technology is homegrown, that we're not taking technology from France, and that France will not have access to our database. My small challenge with the reassurances from the NRS is that, unfortunately, Precious, it's not my fault, is that the government lies a lot and is believed some things that they say sometimes. It's not my fault. So, I am not sure whether
why did they have to take Nigerians shouting about it for them to react if they were sincere from the beginning?
Exactly. Because this type of thing is too important. What is supposed to have happened was that they should have provided this information publicly, as transparently as possible. Even if you say that there is some sort of official secret restriction to some of the content, redact what you need to redact and show us some basics. Show us, reassure us, So that reassurance has not been there until we made some noise, and then what they've said doesn't really reassure, because we really can't believe. It's difficult to believe and trust and know whether it's true or not. But having said that, I think generally speaking, the tax reform is good. It is necessary. Please, I think it's important, politics aside, whether people support this administration or they don't, we need tax reform in this country. My only problem is that we can't do it now. If I were the president, what I would have done is allow the dust around subsidy removal and exchange rates liberalization, the valuation of the naira, to settle. Then in your second term, if you get a second term, right? If you get a second term, then you can now do this reform and make sure that that is now your legacy. You do it properly. Now, what is proper? So, because just in case, Precious, to the glory of God, you're a big girl now, and your show, the trend anyhow. So I'm very, very sure that Mr. Oyedele is going to see this thing. So let me use this opportunity to tell him that, look, yes, it's the truth. So that, look, so that for this thing to really work, for this reform to work, he has only done one side of it. He has reformed the laws. He has reformed the administrative structure. He has reformed the technology to capture taxpayers and collect their money. He now, as a part of the fiscal reforms that he has been charged with, he now needs to introduce accountability structures into this tax reform. He needs to introduce technology-based platform that will show Nigerians what monies are being collected and what it is being used for. That part of his work he not do. And it is something that I feel he should take a responsibility for, because you see, it is the Taiwo Oyedele committee, they call it. 2 years, 3 years from now, his name is going to be tied to this reform. So it will be a shame if he has lent his credibility, his what's it called now, competence, he has lent it to something that eventually will become a disservice to the public and that will be associated with theft and corruption. So in order to avoid that, in order to avoid the tainting of his legacy, I am suggesting to him that he should introduce accountability frameworks, technology-based, into this reform. That part is missing and it's not too late. He can do that because the committee is still working. It hasn't been disbanded.
Why do you think that's important for transparency purposes?
Yes, because the reason it's important is that is the only way that the benefits of the reform will actually be realized. What's the benefit of the reform? Government revenues are going to triple, maybe quadruple. Please mark my word, because we are going to, by virtue of this law, capture a huge number of people paying taxes now. They will pay. So we're talking of potentially, maybe we're going to be seeing NRS reporting maybe 40 trillion, maybe 50 trillion naira in revenues. The only way this reform will benefit Nigerians is if that money is used to build social service and infrastructure. And the only way that will happen is if there is transparency and clear visibility on what that money is used for. It has to start off the hands of the politicians. It has to be a technocratic that a politician cannot meddle with. If he doesn't do that, so these revenues will go up and to be embezzled.
All right. So you think that really, in your opinion, this entire transparency may perhaps rebuild the trust deficit that we already have?
Exactly. So it will be a self-reinforcing, positive reinforcing cycle where, because there is an accountability and transparency structure, people see their money coming in, they can see the tax go up. So they know the money is not being embezzled by the taxman. And then there is some sort of mechanism that shows them where the money has been used for. So they will be eager, happier. Nobody's ever happy to pay tax anywhere in the world. In the US, everybody hates the taxman. But at least you will know that when I pay it, the hospitals will work better. You know, yes, the hospital will work better. The public schools will be better equipped. My children, I might be able to stop sending my children to private schools, trusting that the facilities in the public schools would have been ramped up because there is now enough money to do it. So if that happens, the social contract will become a self-reinforcing cycle where trust continues to improve, which will then improve tax compliance, and which will improve revenues, and then it just keeps going around in circles, and you'll get a better society for it. So Mr. Odele still has one leg of his work to do.
All right, sir. So I'm going back to politics now, very important, because I mean, that's what decisions of politicians shape our lives, basically. And it's very important to pay attention to it. We've seen how the 2023 election went. And there's something very worrisome that's going on. Some people worry about the interference of the United States in what's going on in Nigeria, especially regarding insecurity. Now, Trump, no, they make mistake. They talk and say, in fact, I don't want to talk, so you don't profile the Fulani people for Nigeria, or Fulani headsmen. Now you don't profile. He called them Fulani militia. Now we see they call them. And then he made sure he's also out to profile the Miyetti Allah. These names are already in the White House. They've mentioned them several times in their congresses. You heard that already. There's also a plan, according to them, to begin to deal with these people in terms of their finances and all that. So we did here. And with all of this, and Trump being very upset about the Sharia law in Nigeria, do you think it is a good time for us to field another Muslim candidate? The reason I'm asking is because we've had Buhari rule us for 8 years. He's a Muslim. President Buhari has ruled for, TINUBU has ruled for another 4 years. He's a Muslim. And we know, ordinarily, TINUBU finished in 4 years, in 8 years. Now, another Muslim go rule. That one, they no go fit come out. You know that one, me and you know. If you like, as long as power is going to the north, it cannot be to a northern Christian. It has to be to a northern Muslim. So, do you think it is an ideal time, a good time for Nigeria to have almost, 24 years or 20 years of a Muslim leader, especially with the way the international community is running at the Muslim ticket? They keep saying it. They're not missing words. And if in response to that, what do you think the ADC should do to better position themselves to show that, they have the best interest of Nigeria at heart? Before we go back to Fayose, your brother.
I won't disown him. He's my brother. I think starting with the ADC that you ended with, yes, politicians don't care about all these things that you're talking about. They're not saying though. The average politician.
The image of Nigeria they are stake. Mr. Shego, I don't know whether you understand what's happening for Nigeria. Almost
I understand what you're saying.
I
understand.
And this will affect us even further if we make such a mistake again in the next election. And it's important.
I can even add some further petrol to the fire that you have just lit now by reminding you that recently Israel. You remember this incident? Benji went to go and recognize Somaliland. He went to go and recognize Somalia. Apart from the threats that he was going to invade Nigeria along with Trump, he went to go and recognize Somaliland, give them sovereign recognition single-handedly. And the terrible part of this, it was shocking for me, and I'm traumatized, is that the League of Arab Nations, not Arab, Muslim countries, a league of Muslim countries, about 20 of them, did a letter to condemn the recognition of Somaliland by Israel, right? Including the Organization of Islamic Countries. Nigeria's name is on that list, and it stood out like a sore thumb. I was like, what is Nigeria doing here? You are seeing the Islamic Republic of this, Iran,
and then you see Nigeria,
countries that are clearly,
so me I'm a Christian now. Where am I?
Yeah, countries that are clearly Islamic countries.
Yes.
Their names inside it. Their name is written in Islam. Nigeria, that is supposedly by virtue of the point that you are making, which is that damaged internationally progressively by all of these incidents. Now, the issue of the ADC,
continuous thing. You don't kukuma spoil and finish.
Yes, it's getting worse and worse. Because it's important for Nigerians to understand the local politics that is driving the sentiment that Trump is. Trump is based is a white Christian nationalist base. The MAGA base, the Make America Great Again movement, and the land white Christian Americans, right? And has seen that there's an opportunity in Nigeria for him to improve his ratings there. So he has focused on us, and in every last drop of political
and by the way, his MAGA
capital that he can get from this our sad and sorry.
And his MAGA base, they support the team because
absolutely they love it. They love it. They love it because he's saying that I will not tolerate the killing of Christians in Nigeria. He's talking about Christians all the time. What about the Muslims that are being? But he's playing up and helping him. Now the issue is that see, whether it's Atiku, whether it's Peter, whether it's Amechi, whether it's Têrrørīsts, sorry, I don't have a Têrrørīsts, right? Whether it's Têrrørīsts, whether it's any of these ones, David Mark, they don't care. I'm sorry, there's any this thing. So when I crack my jokes, they take you about 2 seconds for the thing to have your side. so any of these guys, they don't care. They don't send us, right? So all they're interested in is how they're going to get into office in 2027. if they have to field a Muslim, if they feel that Atiku, right, in order to checkmate Bola Ahmed Tinubu properly, that Atiku is the candidate that they must field, they will field him. If by some strange political calculation, they believe that the Muslim ticket of the APC must be combated and countered by a Muslim ticket from the ADC, they will do it. So I think that appealing to this politician, yes, they don't send, they're not interested. So appealing to them is a waste of time. We just need to look. we just need to look at the entire situation and think for ourselves and speak for ourselves as Nigerians. Let's forget about these politicians. They would never do what we want unless we force them, and that is the crux of the matter for me. We need to speak out more, and that's why I was talking earlier that it's very unfortunate that people that went out to protest were arrested and have been remanded in prison, and that people that went out to protest were caned and beaten in Kwara State by hoodlums that were supported by the police, that were protected by the police, because the actions that those two sets of people took is exactly what more Nigerians need to do to save ourselves, from these politicians. So I really hope that we'll get a savior.
But clearly, people will not be able to protest again because they will feel like, I don't want me to arrest me, or they will come on body. Because now, what's in the government?
We have to protest, Precious. We have to protest, Precious, because look, my message, and I'm going to keep preaching this message. Anybody that doesn't like me is okay. I'm not an ice cream seller. I'm not looking for popularity. I'm just here to say my truth, my understanding of what the truth is and how Nigeria can become better. And I think that there's no doubt about it. We have to be ready to confront these politicians. We have to be ready to confront them.
All right, sir. Okay, so
we have to psych ourselves up so that we are not afraid to die. At the youth look at what they go. Wow, look, just a few months ago, right? Where these countries, the citizens are poor, young citizens.
How about Iran? How about Iran right now?
They are streets. Even Iran right now. These are young citizens of these countries pouring onto the streets at the fear and the risk of death to confront their politicians. The longer we keep saying people will not protest because they're afraid of the police, the more we stay in this suffering together. May God have mercy on us. Until we stand up and fight for our freedom, I'm sorry, Trump cannot save us. Trump will throw one or two bombs every now and then just to, make a point, and he will continue to face his own country. It's America first. Don't forget it. It's America first.
Okay, sir. So let me quickly play. Ayodele Fayose had an interview with Channel Television last week, and he reiterated the same point he made in this teaser of a program that will be aired tomorrow on Arise Television. Take a listen.
We must be very honest. When you are weak, tendencies are there for you to fall to the right of the stronger side. The challenges in the PDP, it's not the fault of Asiwaju, the president. No. The failure in my home, God forbid, is not the fault of my neighbor. The issues are very clear. The PDP caused themselves an insurrection. This is a house that divided against itself. And the nature of man is survival of the fittest. There are two dominant parties at a given time. Are we saying ADC is not dominant? Recently, Obi moved there, and I've said it. Obi is the only life in ADC.
There are other people there.
Excuse me.
Amechi is there.
I never said they are not human beings there. I'm saying they are largely spent forces. Let Obi don't go to ADC. Let Obi go to another party. Let's say Obi is in Accord. Accord will become.
Why is that?
Excuse me, I'm saying it to be. Obi is the only traction. Obi is the only meaning. Obi is the only factor. Obi is the only person in ADC that matters. And if Obi had not gone to ADC and has gone, when Obi went to Labour that would never know became one election to House of Rep. I'm not saying Obi will win this election. I'm not saying Obi will not win this election. But I'm telling you, even if they don't feed Obi, if ADC fails to feed Obi, their case will be worse.
Okay, all right. So, I mean, you heard that. Why do you think he more or less looked down on the other candidates and perhaps just focused on Peter Obi alone?
I mean, look, he's right.
You think the others are spent forces?
The politics of Nigeria. No, I wouldn't say spent forces, and I think you see, you know, Payoshe is a very is a dramatic figure, and is understands politics, so he knows what he's saying. When he uses the expression "Obi is the only life," right? Let me replace the word "life" with "light." That Obi may very well be in the midst of a sea of darkness. He is the only light. Not because he is a sin, because sin is, let's be honest. But that as a political figure in this country, I don't think that anybody in their right senses will say that Peter Obi is as compromised as many of the he says Obi is the life. I think what he's just simply saying is that he's the only one that stands out and that is different from the others. Now, it will be a mistake to call some of those people spent forces. Atiku is not a spent force, so that'd be a mistake. If anybody that is saying Atiku is a spent force doesn't understand Nigerian politics, the guy still controls the votes in this country, has boots on the ground, and foot soldiers in the field that are critical for winning elections in this country. In parts of the country that Obi can never enter. So to just wave him aside as a spent force would be a mistake. But he has a very good point in saying that Obi is the only life in that place. I think that if they really want to do something miraculous, they should give Obi the presidential ticket and find a northern candidate. Either, it can't be a Christian because Peter Obi is a Christian. Find a strong northern Muslim candidate like a Kwankwanso, right, to become vice presidential candidate to Peter Obi. Then you will be talking. Then there will be a real contest in 2027. A real contest. You may still not necessarily know. President TINUBU has the power of incumbency right now. He has the benefit of incumbency. It's very difficult.
Well, has it done well enough? Has it done well enough to garner such? Has it done well enough to garner such votes to make him win the election? It's not about having power of incumbency. It's about having the people. I mean, getting the heart of the people. Has it done well enough? As an incumbent, it's actually very easy for him to win the election. Why? I mean, with the good works, I'm sorry, sir, but I had said this on this platform before, and I'll say it again. I said the only person who can win this election very easily is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He still has time to prove to people that I got you.
Yeah.
He has the time. See, in less than 1 year now, if you begin to do things, change abracadabra, life just be easy for Nigeria. Nigerians are very easy to please. They're very easy to buy. He has the opportunity to. The other people don't get the opportunity. Small time Nigerians will tell you, oh, everyone we know is better than the others. No, let's just vote for Peter Obi. TINUBU.
Absolutely.
So is he doing it? He doesn't even have empathy.
Well,
things will happen to people he hardly responds or react. He treats us with very, very disregard. Like, we don't care. I don't care about you knowing where I am. Like, we don't even know where our president is. We don't know where he did. And they don't even get the man. They feel like the man that is living on our bills. It is not our responsibility to know where he is. They don't even want to let us know where he is. Like, how dare you even want to know about him? It's not your business. But I don't want to use the F word. He lives on our bills. Even though he may have had his billions, but currently, my tax follow the feeder. So we should know where he is.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I mean, these are the things. And then by the time you talk, they will arrest you. Why are you talking? So do you think that he's done well enough? Because me, I feel like This president has all it takes to win this election if he just does little things, just little things right. So do you think he has what it takes to win? Apart from just the usual Nigerian incumbents, where would they use oppress people? No vex.
Well, the power of incumbency is a strong factor in political calculations anywhere in the world. It's a statistically proven thing.
It didn't work for Donald Trump, even with insurrection. Making vex.
Yeah. It didn't work for Trump. It didn't work for Jonathan in Nigeria. You know,
it didn't work for Biden again or Kamala Harris.
It didn't work for Biden. Yeah, at least it didn't work for the Democratic Party. But I think the point is that more incumbents tend to win elections because they're able to influence outcomes a bit more, not in any illegal way, just by taking advantage.
I'm so sorry. I'll take it right away from you. I think it's better to say more incumbents tends to be announced as winners of elections, not tend to win elections.
It's okay if that's how we want to frame it. Especially
incumbents don't clearly win. I mean, see Ouattara, see Alassane Ouattara. Are you saying he won election?
No. I'm talking about generally. This is political science all over the world, even in places where elections are credible. Incumbents generally have an advantage. They control the machinery and to a large extent some of the narrative, but I think the point is that in our own particular case, Precious, you say, has he done enough? The real question is that does he need to do enough does he need to do enough? And the truth, the sad and unfortunate truth, is that he doesn't need to do enough, because the truth, unless the narrative, by defending our votes, the truth is that it doesn't really, they need our votes. So don't get me wrong, the votes are counted.
Oh dear, network.
Be wanted to be. The votes are always counted. Sorry, I hope you can hear me. The votes are counted.
I can now.
But they will be manipulated at the end of the day. Yeah, manipulated at the end of the day. So does he need to do enough? I don't know about that. So I think the real issue for me, and that's why this coalition needs to get it right in terms of the candidates that they're going to put on the ballot. The candidate they're going to put on the ballot is what is going to determine whether or not they can checkmate whatever, let me just use the word, rigging machinery, rigging infrastructure that the incumbency factor will give you. The opposition must have enough in their arsenal to counteract that and checkmate and nullify it. That's what to do in 2023. So they have to get their calculations right this time if they are to stand a chance of giving us a fair contest. So, and I think that doing enough in this case will be fielding the right kind, and I think that what, by virtue of the life that he carries, because the guy moves the spirit of people, he moves the human soul. There are people that fight for Peter Obi with their own resources. That's it. That's life. People are involved in the battle for him to emerge just out of passion and no other reason. None of the other candidates can really boast of that. Fayose says he's only one with life amongst them. So if I will push him forward so that he can deploy that boots on the ground, then you will now use the instrumentality of this article, controls. The structure of like Kwakwanso to checkmate, the ruling party in whatever games they want to play. That way, then I think there is a fair chance, a 50-50 chance that something can happen. Otherwise, just give it to President TINUBU and let's continue till 2031. If they get the calculation wrong with regards to who they will field, President TINUBU will coast to an easy victory.
All right, sir. So let's get into what's going on in my dear, beautiful River State. I mean, we've heard all the buzzwords in my dear River State. The Nyesom Wike factor, with him saying that agreement is agreement, you must obey agreement. And the only response that the governor has given so far, when he mentioned about back-end dogs and all that, the impeachment saga, and right now, two House of Assembly members have distanced themselves. In fact, they pulled out of the move to impeach the governor, I think one is Honorable Sylvanus Wankwo and Honorable Peter Obi. One is from Omoma constituency. And they've said they don't want to do it. In fact, before I even go further, it's only fair to take their reaction so that we will hear from the horse's mouth. Let's take a listen to them.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen of the press. My name is Honorable Sylvanus Wankwo. I represent Omoma State constituency at the River State House of Assembly, and I'm also the minority leader of the 10th Assembly.
My name is Honorable Peter Obi, JP, and I represent Degema State constituency in the House of Assembly.
Gentlemen, you are all aware that the River State House of Assembly issued a notice of impeachment on the governor of River State, Sir Similaye Fubara, and the deputy governor of River State. But we have called this press conference to appeal to our fellow colleagues to tamper justice with mercy and to see how we can resolve this matter apart from the impeachment proceedings. That is why we are here this morning to appeal to the conscience of our fellow colleagues, having listened to so many pleas, calls from our elders and leaders, both within and outside the state, begging for leniency. We are begging, calling our colleagues to reconsider our step and see how this matter can be resolved amicably, even though the governor and the deputy governor has infringed on the constitution. But we are appealing on them to reconsider our stand. Thank you so much.
As the minority leader said, the governor, yes, he has infringed on parts of the constitution, but we are human beings, and we as people, as members of the 10th Assembly, we want to plead with our colleagues to please reconsider. This, we have received calls from leaders, from people in River State, outside River State, and we see that you don't raise the axe and swing it as you raise it. So we plead with our colleagues to reconsider, to please reconsider, provided the governor too has a role to play. He too must make sure he doesn't infringe furthermore on the constitution. So that will bring an amicable settlement to the whole thing. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, Mr. Shapiko, I mean, you've seen all the drama that's played out in River State. Let me take your reaction to this. Where is this going to?
Right now, it's a bit difficult to read the room because unless you are an actor on the ground and you can hear what is happening, this is high politics, and we all know that this is about 2027. All of this is, just about control for River State as a voting bloc, towards the presidential election. And we all know that it is Wike that is behind all of this. The 27 or whatever their numbers are now, House of Assembly members that are loyal to Wike, who have moved to the APC, along, ironically, with the governor, are obviously still doing the bidding of Wike. And this is all about Wike still trying to show that he is in control of River State so that he can remain relevant in the eyes of President Tinubu. Because if Fubara successfully moves to the APC as he has done, and is able to demonstrate that he controls the machinery, the infrastructure, the political structure in Rivers State, Wike is finished, because Wike cannot go back to the PDP. That bridge
he's still
has
in the
been
PDP.
blown. He's in a shadow of the PDP. He's not in the PDP. Everybody knows that he's not in the PDP. So we all know what the truth is. You know, you can't be in a party that you are working against. You claim you are in the PDP and you are in the cabinet of the APC, and you fight everything that is PDP every single step of the way. You have destabilized and destroyed the PDP single-handedly. You know, so he's not in the PDP, and he cannot go back to the PDP, and he cannot come into the APC. He is in limbo. The only way for Wike's political survival is to ensure that he does not lose Rivers State, and he does not lose control of the machinery. What's the machinery? What's the machinery that the governor controls in any state? The local government chairman and the House of Assembly members, the political appointees, and the elected officials in the state represent the machinery, because they then will go down to their constituencies and influence the outcome of elections. So Wike wants to ensure that he stays in control of all of that, and prevent Fubara from wresting that control from him. And that's what this is all about. So obviously there's some sort of a battle between himself and Fubara still, because you remember that in the last 2 weeks, since Fubara's defection to the APC, Fubara has become a bit more insolent again. And he has been speaking against Wike because he feels that now that he has joined the APC and has the president in his corner, that he can call the bluff, Minister Wike. And he has been doing so. He has been using stylishly insulting the man, right? so I think that we have to wait to see how it plays out. I think how this swings will depend on how President Tinubu is seeing the calculation. Tinubu will throw his weight behind either of the two, depending on who he thinks stands the better chance of delivering the vote of Rivers State in a year's time. So if that group believes that impeaching Fubara will not serve his interest, then he's going to intervene. So we will know the answer in another week or two. The impeachment process,
Right.
usually
So there are people who there are people who are
required to last about 3 weeks.
There are people who are pushing the president to compel Wike to focus on his ministerial appointment and his ministerial duty, and allow Rivers State to rest, especially now that, of course, the president has control of the governor, so he has other people working for him. Do you think that this in any way may affect his duty as a minister? And do you think it will be fair for the president to relinquish Wike, understanding how Wike can cry and sing if anything goes south?
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole thing is unfortunate. Is it not the same president declared a state of emergency? Is it not the same president that
the governor claimed he was saving him? Because if not for that state of emergency, he would have been gone.
That's the narrative now, and that's how it has been spun. But Fubara himself will know whether it was saving him or not in another month or so, because he might very well still be impeached. Right, so we'll have to wait. The point I'm making is that if Tinubu could have declared a state of emergency and removed a governor and suspended democratically elected institutions in a state, just as a part of political calculation, nothing. We all know that there was no emergency in Rivers. We know that there was no crisis. There was no breakdown of law and order. This was just the president getting involved in local politics for his own interest. So where will he flow this time? If he could have gone that far, he will do anything. So will he fire Wike? I doubt it. And that's what's going on here. Wike is trying to show to President Tinubu that Rivers is still my own, no matter what. Even though Fubara has joined
dear.
I am still the one in control of Rivers State, and did that successfully. Trust me, the president, because I've impeached now, it will look bad on the president, because the president has kind of adopted Fubara into the APC. So it will look bad. It will seem as if the president failed if Fubara gets impeached. So I don't think Fubara will get impeached, but I also don't think that Wike will get fired. I think TINUBU is going to play the middle very craftily until
or perhaps the Obasa game.
time.
Do you see the Obasa instruction coming up? Playing out?
Possibly. You know, it might just be a case of, you know what, let's just resolve this. Mr. President has said this, and that's the end of the matter. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But, you know, at the end of the day, is the election that is going to determine how this swings.
All right. Nigerian's phone lines are open. We're waiting for you to jump in on the conversation. Call the WhatsApp number 0817-029-4077, or you follow the link on the pinned post. That link will bring you straight into the studio to be part of the conversation. So before I begin to take calls, just two more issues I'd like you to quickly chime in on. One is the 40 billion naira CCTV footage on the about 11-kilometer length of Third Mainland Bridge. And you know, Nigerians, they say that's massive, baby. That's awesome. I mean, we've been looking for giant strides like this. Not in fact, gigantic strides, not giant strides. I mean, there's a president who has a mind to take up those giant strides, and you can see the wonderful facility. You know, we have CCTV around Third Mainland Bridge and all that. What's your take on that? Especially considering the government also claiming that they used XYZ amount of money to fix or repair Third Mainland Bridge. And people are saying, wait, this same Third Mainland Bridge will get like this. Now you carry this kind of plenty money repair. But let me take, they said they repaired Third Mainland Bridge, rehabilitated Third Mainland Bridge with 43 billion naira. Sorry, sir. I mean, you are a figures person, so I mean, it's only fair to throw that person at you. What do you think? Only 40 billion naira. Only 40 billion.
Yeah, very small money. Very small money. It's just chicken change. It's not a lot of money. That's money to just buy rice. It's just money for rice. No big deal. Look, I don't know. Honestly, you know, and this is part of the reason why the conversation about tax is a difficult conversation to ask. Because this is the government that wants to reform tax and compel people to pay. And then we are saying that we're going to spend 43 billion naira on CCTV infrastructure on a 13-kilometer bridge that already has CCTV. You know, that's the kicker. You know, the real kicker, when I saw this, I was like, are we talking about another bridge? Or is it the same Third Mainland that since a year plus ago...
After that last rehabilitation, there was CCTV in it, yes.
No, the Lagos State government has installed CCTV.
After the last rehabilitation, after the
last... Yes. So the CCTV... cameras on the bridge now and are currently monitoring speed. People are getting speed fines as we speak Lagos today.
So
based on the store,
this network
is this minister talking about? Is it another, or is it telling us that this is how much? Is it telling us that this is how much it costs to do this one?
The CCTV camera they have, now Nigerian government, sorry, now Lagos government put that one. This one, they can't get CCTV center, what they call inaugurate. What the inauguration for Ramon? Where you can't get different TV, where they monitor from different angle, all the cameras around. You know, it's a different thing together. This one now is a proper CCTV center.
Yeah, so
sir?
Maybe... I mean, I have a meeting with a client on the island either tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will specifically look out for the new CCTV. I know where the CCTV were there before. I know where they. I know I pinpoint them. When I'm driving on that bridge, I put my car on cruise control. I set it to the speed limit, 80 kilometers per hour, and then I take my foot off the accelerator. And I know that there are cameras that monitor it on that road. The stretch between, Woronshoki and the 7-Up to Jodubega. Okay. All these cameras are yes, all these places, the cameras are there. There are cameras on Mobolaji Bank Anthony as well, right now, right? Yes. So I know the roads
and that
I have these cameras, and I am always very wary of it because I don't want to pay. Exactly, all over. The cameras that the minister has installed would like to see them. That has cost us taxpayers money 43 billion naira. So much so that we now have a control center. Is that control center different from the one that Lagos State government has? Or is it been integrated? Are we talking of some sort of integration that, you know, the federal government has installed and the one that Lagos State government has installed? Or what are we talking about here? Because I know that the Lagos State government has a project like that and it is functional. You know, so I think that this lack of accountability, this and you know, governor, professor, engineer David Umahi is in the habit of lecturing Nigerians.
Professor by experience, sir.
Yes, is an experiential professor, you know, and he has a habit of lecturing Nigerians on what works and how things. So he should come and lecture us on how much each have, how many did they install, where were they installed, how much is the cost for each one, right? Let's have the numbers, because this is our money. It's not his money now, it's our tax. So let him explain to us how many cameras were installed, you know, and all of that, so that we'll know whether he's just whining us or whether indeed our money has been judiciously spent.
Okay. You say whining us. I like that. Okay. Why we don't know whether they're whining us or okay, so very quickly, I'd like you to chime in on the issue of Abdul Rashid Bawa Malami's case. So some Northerners actually think that Northerners are deliberately picked on to to investigate under President Tinubu's administration. In fact, a Northern content creator, whoever it was, I don't know who it was, made a video earlier today saying that why is it, are we saying that there is no Yoruba man that is corrupt? Why would they hold only Northerners these days and asking them to come and give accountability of their actions? But Olukoyede had an interview with Channels Television with Sheon yesterday, where he did say that Malami's issue precedes his administration. Say, in fact, that under Abdul Rashid Bawa, will be a kinsman to Malami under the administration, 9 the matter don't start. So we don't know the truth about all this. But I'd like you to, chime in on the anti-graft agency we have in Nigeria. In fact, the spokesperson of EFCC come and swear. Say they never do pasha for their life before. Say they did very truthful. Say they never ever did political. Say nothing concerned them with politics, that they've been the only independent and very sincere independent organization in Nigeria. Nothing concerned them who can influence them. Nothing concerned them concern influence. How can anybody think that anybody may be influencing them? And first of all, let's listen to what Olukoyede said. Please, let's take a listen to him.
Of the grievances of the former Attorney General is that the EFCC's actions are procedurally flawed. And this is a senior advocate of Nigeria talking here. Can you say categorically, as a lawyer, that EFCC followed the due process of law? Because the man is saying that this is a witch hunt and that you are personally attacking his person. You are coming after him, that you are persecuting him rather than prosecuting him. And that your procedures are flawed.
I'm here to understand the fact, to see the fact is going to bring out to buttress that claim. If actually he said that. I don't understand. Look, we carried out our investigation in the most professional way. And let me tell you about that particular format of the General you are talking about. There is nothing personal in this matter. If Nigeria should move forward, all of us must agree that this fight must be fought without being partisan. And that's what I want Nigerians to understand and to agree with us. Now I want to tell Nigerians that the investigation of this man predated me in the office. And a lot of people don't know that.
Malami?
Yes. I inherited the investigation file. What I did was to ensure that the investigation was carried out in a very professional and thorough manner. He has been under investigation for almost 2.5 years.
Since immediately after the exit of the Buhari government, there is an investigation started on him.
The file was opened, not even under me. I inherited it. And for the past over 2 years I've been in the office, we've been painstakingly, carrying out the investigation, trying to establish, some of these, offenses and all of that. Not until I was convinced that we had a watertight case, and Nigerians are witnesses. So there's nothing personal about it. I don't understand the issue of persecution and all of that. That's not personal.
But, as a former chief law officer of the land, it's important that we critically look at the case of Mr. Malami and some of the claims that he's making. It's claimed that he was instrumental in setting up the Justice Ayasalami panel, which allegedly indicted you. And that is one of the reasons why you're after him. According to him, and as far as he's concerned, this is personal. Were you indicted by Justice Ayasalami's panel?
Yeah, thanks so much. I'm very sure Nigerians will be interested in seeing this matter put to rest once and for all. Now, those who claimed I was indicted rather, fraudulently or criminally indicted by the panel, the onus is on them to publish the report for people to see. Because I've had occasions to listen to people who say, oh, we have not seen the report. And they are making claims that I was indicted. Don't forget that this panel was set up in 2020. And I think they wound up their activities in early 2021. And between 2021 and 2023 that the new government came to the office, the former Attorney General was in the office as the Attorney General. I'm very sure he had access to the report. Why was the report not published for 2 years that he was in the office? Why was it that after investigation, case file was opened, not only opened, after charges were about to be filed, which he knew, that was when he now came to the public to say that it was persecution that he was investigating him because of the report of the panel. For me, I've not seen the report of the panel. I won't speak to what I cannot lay my hands on. That's number one. Number two, about the panel, the work of the panel, I think it's a better opportunity for me to put this thing to rest. All Nigerians knew that it was the former acting chairman that was the subject of that investigation, number one. But in the course of the investigation, they felt they needed to take statements or to seek clarifications from other members of staff. Of course, at that time, I was the secretary to the commission, which of course number two. So I was invited, not only me, quite a number of directors. I think about 7 or 8 of them were invited. Some management staff, members of management staff were also invited. Both middle cadre and lower cadre were also invited. Quite a number of us, and we went to the panel. I attended the sitting of the panel on 2 occasions. The first time I was asked what was my statutory mandate, I explained. The second time I got there, I sat for some time. They said, okay, they will send for me if they needed me. That was the last I knew about the panel. Now, I think sometime down the road, I was invited by this institution, and I was told that the report has been forwarded to them for further investigation. Yeah. So I was invited to come and make statement, even here in EFCC. So I came, I made the statement, just like any other person, like of course the other directors and the other members of staff, that they also came here to make statements. Before everybody was put on suspension then, So I made my statement, and that was it. Also, but as I'm talking to you, Sheung, the long and short of it is that number one, the investigation report in the EFCC cleared me, and I need to tell Nigerians this. And secondly, I got the same presidency that set up that panel, gave me a letter of clearance.
All right, sir. This is what he had to say. However, we've had some Northerners. This young man spoke in Hausa language. This is what he had to say about.
Jama'a ni abun da nake so ku tambaya mun don Allah 'yan Najeriya. Wai cikin Yarabawa ba barayi. Babu barayi cikin Yarabawa ba barayin gwamnati, ministocin da suka wuce na Buhari kaf ɗinsu babu barawo. Kawai ana son mu 'yan arewa a ɗauke mu ɗibgawa a rena mana wayau, ai amfani da wasu 'yan arewanmu domin a karya shugabanninmu, jagororinmu na arewacin Najeriya.
So because we do not understand the language, let me just hurry with that. But we hear that he's saying that the EFCC telling us that there is no corrupt Yoruba politician to go after, or only Northerners that it was corrupt, So the North is kind of protesting. Some people in the North think that this is a calculated attempt to clamp down on Northerners who are not in support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Let me take your opinion, sir.
you know, politicians always cry political persecution, and in Nigeria, we always defend our own thieves. Our thieves are always better than the thieves of the other people. As far as I'm concerned, a thief is a thief.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
Whether it's a northern thief or it's a Yoruba thief or it's an Igbo thief, is a thief. You know, when Jonathan lost the 2015 election and Buhari came, this was the cry. Buhari is just persecuting, he's lying. You know, this is a witch hunt. When Buhari was going after certain ministers, including the Ziani, you know, and others. And I always used to say then that, look, if it's a witch hunt, you say it's a witch hunt. If it's witches that are being hunted, why are you being hunted? Are you a witch? So if you don't have somewhere hovering around you, they are not going to hunt you. So if some northern elements are complaining that, you know, there's northern candidates only, well, don't worry. President will come later who will go at southern politicians and southern governors and southern ministers. The important thing is that those, or are they not? If they are, please let them face the music now they come from. Abi, is that guy that are being prosecuted by the FCC that they are actually, is that what he's saying? He should be saying that they're not caught, not that, oh, they are prosecuting only northern politicians. That's ridiculous, you know? And as far as all the things that Olu Koyede was saying, you know, I'm sure the young man, because he is a young man for the office he holds, I'm sure he thinks that we're all, you know, dollars. Is it another EFCC or is it not the same EFCC that threatened? In fact, he said he's going to resign if they don't arrest and prosecute. I believe he's going to run for Senate in 2027. He has already in this same country.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So what is he talking about? I mean, we know that the EFCC is a political tool, is a political instrument, has all been. Very brief period under the presidency of President Obasanjo, when it appeared as this was real anti-corruption, when politicians were literally bad. But that period did not last very long because it soon became obvious. It was only the opponents of the president counted. And that has been the way the EFCC has been. It's just a tool. So they will gather case file on you. They already know that politicians are, you know, have their hand in one kitty or the other. So they gather the data. Then when you are misbehaving or talking anyhow, they will show you and you fall in line. They will tell you that you should come and defect and come and join their party. Otherwise, you will go to jail. You will fall in line. That's what the EFCC is used for now. He knows that we know that. Someday, Nigeria will become better, maybe when citizens are able to fight for the freedom of this country, and maybe agencies like the EFCC will now actually go after corrupt people. But for now, it's a political tool. But my own is that, well, political tool or not, if you are guilty, go and face your charges. No problem. And if you can clear your name, congratulations. Name and you go to jail. Maybe the president, one president or the other will come and pardon. Buhari pardoned 2 convicted governors. You know, so this is a country where anything can happen. So, I mean, after all, Governor Odius Okalu was convicted and actually spent time in jail. He got a 10-year sentence and actually spent, I think, about a year or so in jail. And then the case was cancelled. You know, there's magic in this country. The case was told on a very flimsy technical basis. So let the EFCC do its job and let the politicians do what they normally do until the day that Nigerians get tired and we fight for our freedom, and then maybe things will get better and we'll do things differently.
All right. So before I begin to take the calls, Mr. Shopito, please, where is TINUBU, our president? Sir? It's the way you're keeping.
Don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry. No, don't worry. Please, we are going to put out a missing persons report. We are going to put out a missing person report. We will file it on NTA. They will show his picture and say, have you seen this man? If you see him, please report to the nearest police station. Your guess is as good as mine, and it's sad. I mean, we joke about it, but it's not funny at all. These people don't rate us; they don't take us seriously. This type of thing cannot happen in any other country.
Exactly,
You know, where the
because
president,
Peter Obi
like,
is
literally
asking,
nobody
things are
really knows
going
where he
bad.
is. Nobody really knows where he is, and people are dying every day. People are dying, literally. This is not an exaggeration. You know, the insecurity in the country is getting worse and worse in spite of everything. You know, you hear, I mean, Precious, the Minister of Defense, who just a few months ago, was the Chief of Defense Staff and a soldier that a lot of Nigerians respected. For the first time in a long time, we had a soldier that was a combatant, a general in the army that had gone to the war front and confronted the militants, you know, Ted Chris Musa.
Yes.
Today he has become a minister and is speaking. Look, that clip that you played at the beginning of this show, that was Christopher Musa, the politician minister speaking. That was not General Musa. General Musa will not have been like that. If you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. So a soldier doesn't talk like that, you know. So that was to offer empty platitudes when the power to have as a people, where, you know, police say anything that they want to do, they don't rate us, and they get away with it. So I don't know where the president is, and they'll tell us that no, that he was working, was on some sort of working vacation or visit, and they will lecture us on how, you know, this is 2026 and people can work from anywhere in the world. And we are going to have some of us that will defend it and say, yes, it's true. Look, you know, what is it? Anybody can work from anywhere. Must it be in Aso Rock? Must it be in Nigeria? Even if he is in Nigeria, is he the one that will go to the field to go and fight the terrorists? People like you and I will say those things to us. So that's the Nigeria we have today.
All right. Hello, good evening, and welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir? Hello, sir.
Hello?
Yes. Good evening, sir. Welcome. Mr. Tony Chukudi. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, Precious.
Sir?
See, that's good. That's 2026. So, is it? I don't know your soul. No. Did you watch that clip?
Which of the clips?
Did you just? I mean, the clip of the EFCC minister.
Of course.
I mean, not EFCC. Sorry. What's his name? Wike has taken all everything now. We're trying to find the minister.
The chairman of the EFCC.
The chairman of the EFCC.
Absolutely, yes, I did.
You know, when in the Western world, when interview is being carried out, it's not about what that person is talking, the mouth, the way the mouth moves. It's also the body language.
I was hoping you were not going to note body language, but just go ahead.
So you can see the way the question was thrown at him. He paused and then tried to kind of.
You know, he get to balance well before he answer the question. Now, not be every question we go answer.
Not be under that chair where you sit down. Not be, you know how much that chair costs?
No, nah. If you fall off the seats, so some kind of question will make you fall for seats if you know balance well to answer.
Oh, okay. Now, if you tell what's his name? What's his name? The channel man. They forgot them now. Never put time for that, making no come on. So just look at him. Just look at the way these people are playing. Just like Yage said, you see the way they are playing on thinking that everybody is just a fool. That nobody knows what they are talking or what they are doing. You said that I think he's the one who made that statement.
That what?
That if he doesn't arrest the former Kogi governor, that he will resign. What is he still doing there?
No vex.
What is that man still doing there? Is it not annoying watching that man talking? Even they asked him a question and he's wumbling. Trying to lie in something that at the end of the day, okay, oh God, this is always think that we are stupid. The organization that you are heading, in Nigeria, if it's in the Western world, we say okay because they will say organization that you are heading investigated their case. Oh wow! Why not maybe one of your relation make them come check them or check in case the organization that instead investigated went through his case and find no there's nothing he didn't do no wrong. I mean, oh God.
Sorry, sir.
So just think that all of us are stupid.
Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good night. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hello.
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Marvelous calling from Canada.
Go ahead, please, Marvelous.
Yeah. A quick one for my first thought is on this Edo State issues, the protests and everything,
and the arrest of the protesters. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, 2 protest guys they arrested.
52 of them or not 2.
Is there why did they? Because even they even arranged the court today and
they remanded them already.
So they remanded them for what?
For protesting.
So you see the reason why when you put an illiterate in charge of a position is not supposed to be, you see what happens.
Now, but then why didn't go see our governor? Sorry, their governor billboard.
Precious is protest. Protest. It's called protest. It's not as if they damage. Those are minor. It's not as if they damage any properties.
They say they looted. They're blaming them for looting shops. They say they looted shops and other stuffs.
You see.
I don't have any evidence to that, so I'm not going to say
it's not as if I'm making an excuse for them, though. It's not as if I'm making an excuse. But when they say a protest, those are part of the things that go with protest. That is the reason why the society, a well-reasonable society, will do things to make sure and put things right for this youth. Because these are teenagers, these are youth. They are coming up. They are still coming up. They are meant to be taught and teach them, put them in the right path, and make them comfortable, provide everything for them to live properly. So because if it's like they are just it's just like a place that it looks as if there's no rules, there's no laws, because even the same people that are in charge of they're in charge of the state affairs, you could see them, they've got no clue of what they are doing. What's going on?
Sorry, sir.
You could see the country has turned to they've even left the country a disgraced country. You can see what's happening. Just see, okay, look at the same people you've not provided things for them properly to live as a human being. The same people are imposing policies that people cannot survive with. This is frustrating. Because everybody needs to start speaking up. Everybody should stand up and start lending their voice. This is bad. This is bad. Okay, the insecurity. Okay, look at. Okay, you're busy doing what you're doing to them in Benin or whatever he was doing it to them. Then the same kidnapping is going on.
Yes.
Look at it. Okay, look
that day they protested, there was kidnapping, according to sources.
Okay, what are we now talking about now? Okay, look at that same on the protest ground. There was a security officer talking then. When he opened his mouth, that police officer should be fired. Should be relieved of his job.
Oh, but remember that one of the protesters was also shot at. Remember that too.
That's what I'm saying. Even that same person that does that now should be facing the law. Should be facing the wrath of the law. Huh?
Thank you.
That whatever military or whatever that does, the people that sent them to the streets, the people that sent them out, the military in several of them, all of them should be should be facing the wrath of the law now. Because military are not even the military. I don't know what the country has told the military to. Eh? Look at how everything is rampant. It's like the country has even not even have a direction. Eh? Okay, look at the so-called leader of the country now. He's nowhere to be found. Okay, okay. Look at what is even happening. Even the information got now. They've even imposed stars on the people that you've not even created anything for. You've not created things on how to live. No crucial effects. Or what? It's like the people. Everybody needs to start leading their voice because everybody needs to start speaking out now. Eh?
Thank you, sir.
Everybody needs to start speaking out. Enough is enough.
Thank you.
This whole thing needs to stop.
Thank you. Thank you. Make I bring in somebody else to the studio. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. T.Y. Danjuma, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Precious. How are you?
You're welcome.
Greetings, our guest, Mr. Shegun Shopitan. I have a question for you, sir. I heard you say, I heard you say that, you know, as part of your comment, maybe this is in quote, maybe things will get better. Speaking about Nigeria and all the contradictions that we have in the country. But if you remember many years ago, Professor Wole Soyinka, I nicknamed him Professor Bajwe, had said that Nigeria is this generation is a wasted generation. And then I recall that Professor Chinua Achebe also wrote a book, I think focusing on Nigeria, it titled There Was a Country. And then if you go back to Ken Saro-Wiwa's, late Ken Saro-Wiwa's book, The Trouble with Nigeria. And there's so many other books, you know, focusing on Nigeria and the challenges that we're having. Now, my question to you is, if you look at, I want you to narrow it down to this particular administration. If you look at this, the 2 years plus of this particular administration, bear in mind that they have maybe barely another 2 years to go. Do you think, if you look at your crystal ball, do you think that this government holds any hope for Nigeria based on the things that you see?
Wow.
I first keep breathing first before you can take the deep breath yourself. Go ahead, sir.
That's a very well, sir. Very good question. And I think that maybe that is a question that we really need to be asked. In fact, it is the question that Nigerians should ask themselves if their votes were to be the determinant of what happens in 2027. I'm not saying it's not, or if. It's the question that it's been 2.5 years, almost 3 years, to be 3 years in another 5 months of this administration. From the evidence of what we've seen in this almost 3 years, will this administration take us to where we want to be, where we need to be, where we ought to be? And my answer, and I always say that the best way to predict what a person will do in future, not maybe the best way, one of the best ways, is to look at what he has done in the past. And if we look at the recent history, the evidence of the past 10 years of the APC government, and indeed, let's even be honest with ourselves, the evidence of the last 25, 26 years of this Fourth Republic, I think the answer is probably an honest, very resounding no. In order to take Nigeria to where we need to be, so the first question is, where should we be? Where do we as a people, based on the resources we have, human resources, so to speak, supposedly, of people, of a mixed bag of people, different categories, that could easily be an asset. Oil reserves, that's about 39 billion, the 6th largest OPEC. solid mineral reserves that is multiples of what we have in oil. Before we start talking of land, arable land, the ocean economy, and so forth, is this where we should be? If the answer, we all know the answer is no. So, to be where we need to be. Sir, for us to get to where we need to be growing at GDP, annual GDP growth rate of 10% every year. And we need to start doing it now. And it is not impossible. In order for that to happen, we need to have a minimum of 20 to 30,000 megawatts of electricity on the grid, coordinated, not the one that people are using their generator to create. Because that way you can then produce, and that productivity will bring development and growth. But the question is that, is there any evidence, one, that the government has taken can deliver 10% per annum GDP growth rate, or have they done anything that suggests to us that we will move from the 5,000 to 6,000 megawatts of electricity we have been at for 25 years? And the clear answer is no. The obvious answer is no. We are putting the cart before the horse. Subsidy removal is not a bad idea, but it has to be programmed. You can't do it randomly. Floating your currency is absolutely necessary, but you must sequence it in line with the other policy reforms you are making. Otherwise, there will be chaos, and the chaos we are seeing. Tax reform is absolutely critical. A big supporter and advocate for taxes, because that is what drives development. But you can't implement that a year and a half, 2 years after you've done subsidy removal and forex liberalization, two things that have exploded the cost of living. So it is clear there's a policy problem, there's a policy coordination problem, there's a policy formation problem, there's a policy implementation problem. Nothing is being thought through fully. There is no plan, there is no clear vision. This president cannot tell us that by year 20, this is where Nigeria will be in terms of this, and this. These are the steps we're going to take. The Dubai that we see today was planned 30 years ago. They knew exactly where they would be by year 2020. So unfortunately, I think that there is any hope. I think unless that God intervenes somehow, or the Nigerian people, nothing is going to change. Unfortunately, I know it sounds pessimistic, but there you go.
Yeah, thank you. No, I mean, you're being realistic, but one other question, and then I have a question for Precious, which she can answer later.
Now, my guests need to go. If you ask me all the questions, I'm with you guys, but I've kept him longer than we agreed.
Okay, just one more question. One more question. Okay. In terms of strategic planning,
yes, sir.
In terms of data management, have we done well? Because you can't really project into the future if you don't have any strategic planning and you need data, statistics, that is verifiable, for you to project into the future.
Absolutely, and beautiful question. The data has been a problem that we have struggled with for forever, really. And you are right that you can't develop without planning. We have not done a census since 2006. So we're guessing. We say that we're about 230 million, but we could easily be 250 million. And we could easily be only 200 million. We have no idea because we've not run a proper census in over 20, what years is that? The statistics evolved from the Federal Office of Statistics, FOS.
Hello.
About 15, 20 years ago, for Dr. Yemi Kale, that institution to develop into a reference point for the United Nations, the IMF, the IFC. They were sending other African countries to this by profession. And I know that we subscribe to the MBS to get data from them. Excuse me. Now, the MBS has walked backwards. Now, the MBS is manipulating data. The MBS is manipulating inflation. Is manipulating GDP.
Please don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry.
Manipulating employment rates.
I'm sorry, sir. Please don't be in a hurry when you're saying that. Sorry, you were in a hurry. You said the MBS they do it in, then they manipulate. That is they forge data. That's a serious accusation on our MBS.
More or less.
What you were trying to say.
More or less. Look, I can prove it. I can prove it. The MBS is manipulating data. We're manipulating GDP numbers. Our GDP numbers are inconsistent with the reality on ground. We're manipulating inflation numbers. The inflation number that we are claiming we have today is a lie. Our inflation is most certainly not 14%. Our inflation is probably somewhere around 28% now, right? The MBS manipulated the employment rate. Is any normal person in Nigeria thinking that unemployment is 4.5% in this Nigeria where nobody has jobs, you know? And that's the MBS that Dr. Yemekale left just about 5 years ago. We have undone all of the hard work of data integrity that had been done, foundation that could have been built upon to move forward into the future. So sadly, you know, the answer to your question, and all of this is on the altar of politics. You know, there's somebody directing all of that. The MBS is not just doing it by themselves. It's because we need numbers to look a particular way. If the reality will not match the numbers, let the numbers become the reality now. That's what we're doing, and that's very, very unfortunate.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Precious, you can answer this question later. Yeah, you can answer.
So unfortunately, we can.
Thank you so much, sir.
Just hold on. Let me release Mr. Shopita first. Mr. Shopita, I'd like to say a big thank you to you. Sincere apologies for keeping you almost 30 minutes above when we agreed. Please, I deeply, deeply appreciate you. Thank you so much. And looking forward to us doing this again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You, all right, sir. Thanks for the brilliant questions.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, roast me for all I care now. Roast me, Ogati Waidanjima.
No, I'm not the.
I hope I have the right to plead the fifth.
No, you had the bit. I won't talk about
No. I have the bit. I said I hope so I get the right to plead the fifth if I don't answer. Go ahead.
No. You go answer. It's a very simple one. It's not related to integrity. It's not related to.
So you actually I just plan me on. I no go anytime I come here. You two make sure that you bombard me with River State matter. No wahala.
No, because
my mental health.
Because the miracle what they happen there. You don't pass it. Be careful. And I'm not going to ask you about Kigami or all those ones. No, I won't ask you. The question I won't ask you is a simple one. Whether you will find time to brief us if you have been able to reach out, how well you have done with your outreach program, and whether you have found time to be able to talk to 1 or 2 or 3 of those people that you were targeting to assist. That's the question that I want to ask.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So it's been a long ride, very, very long ride. So interestingly, Barrister Jugo, who they help me to help me access Asabe, the lady who won help, and the other 2 amputated amputees. I told him to please help me go and access where the house she said she was trying to put up to see what we can do, and all that. He came with a very detailed report that I can publish here, but I'm just a bit skeptical about publishing it until we have discussed what's, the way forward. So he gave me a concise report, including video footages of the state of the house as it is right now. And then, and as for Sabe's daughter, surviving child, I had promised to sponsor her in school myself to the best of my ability, and to any level that I can manage. We're supposed to put her in school immediately, but the problem is putting her in school without being sure of the location where she would be operating from, since we haven't gotten her the house. That's the only reason I haven't done that. That is my responsibility, and I wanted to start up with that. But the greatest challenge is the bill they give me to complete the house. That won't come past my budget. So the house is to be completed with about 9.something million. And the total money I have recovered from the donations is just 2 million, about 2 million on the dot. Even if I added my own 1 million, it won't still go anywhere. Even if I added 2 million of my own too, it won't still go anywhere. But adding above 2 million of my own money, it's not something I am immediately ready for right now, because if I had known that it would have been this, this cost intensive for me, I reached out to a lot of other people on the 1st of January, that day of my birth. I told you I reached out to people in my community and all that, and almost 50 people. And for me to reach out to that number of people, it cost me a lot of money. If I had known that HAS would take me this much, I perhaps would have cut down on the number of people I would have reached out to, even though they also needed it, you know. So I am thinking of a lot of things. Unfortunately, I can't get. I'm thinking of perhaps just telling her the only thing I can afford is to rent her a house, which I had
Yeah,
initially.
that's
Yes,
what
which
I wanted to say. Because
yes,
that
which
was the
I
initial
initially set
plan.
out for. Exactly, which I initially set out for. But me, I love challenges. So I know there's a big fear for responsibilities. I love responsibilities. Again, my mind just tells me, how about if God just wants to use you to give the woman her house? If God wants to use me, He will provide the money for me or give me the opportunity to fit do am. So, thinking about that, I feel like, okay, if that is the case, I would need the help of any of you in the diaspora to open a GoFundMe account so that we can raise more money for her. I mean, her case is a peculiar case, known to everyone. There is evidence. Unfortunately, the voice call I had with her, I didn't have a voice recording because I was using my earpiece. So the voice was not captured, but only my image with her communicating in the video call was captured. So you won't be able to hear the things she said, even though she spoke in Hausa language. But another good part is that Barrister Jugo was the one who interpreted. So he can always come here to interpret all the things she had said that day during the call. The phone recording is still there. That is, the call recording is still there, but it's without the voice. I didn't realize I wouldn't be voice because I was using hands-free, and that's a challenge. So I am thinking that two things or three things. One, either to go ahead and rent her whatever it is that I can afford to rent her, which was the initial plan. Two, to see how we can. She had the house is a block of three self-contained. So to just fix one for her and leave the rest. Even though fixing the three would have been good because it would have been like we've empowered her already because she can rent the other ones to make money. And we can just fix one and let her live there and start her own business and start life gradually, which the cost may be, much less than the amount to fix the entire three, but we may need to roof the entire house. And the third option is perhaps getting a GoFundMe. And I cannot open a GoFundMe from Nigeria. I don't also want people, opportunists, taking advantage of her situation to open a GoFundMe and perhaps, utilize the money. So I don't know how you guys will help me, you guys in the diaspora. If this happened while I had traveled, I would have perhaps opened the GoFundMe there and I would have, looked for help there. But unfortunately, I'm back into the country and I can't do that by myself because I can't open a GoFundMe here in Nigeria. But I am willing to help her. In fact, she needs immediate medical attention because of the burns injuries and all that she sustained. But all of this, I'm still very confused as to how to go about it. I was still hoping and waiting to see if I can get some more funds myself to see how I can add up. But because I had embarked on other projects myself, I cannot afford that, about 10 million naira to put into that house right now. So it's still open to you guys who has been very helpful to please advise on how we can go about this because I can't take the decision by myself. It's not just my personal fund that is involved in this. So that's it. But people are on the line, so I don't want to take. Someone is on hold, so I don't want to take so much time.
Okay. Yeah, you throw it open to the platform, and maybe you can get suggestions.
It's open already. Please, any suggestion you have, kindly send via WhatsApp message. Tomorrow, at the end of the show, I'll read out the WhatsApp messages on your suggestions, and then, in fact, I'll post the screenshot of your suggestions so that we can come to a solution. By the way, Bolaji Abdullahi is coming here on Wednesday, and it promises to be an interesting conversation. So all of us, we won't roast ADC, and we won't love them. We won't register for ADC. Get ready with your questions on Wednesday. Bolaji Abdullahi will be here on Wednesday, and it promises to be a great conversation with him if he's here on Wednesday. So please, if you have any kind of contribution on how you think we can go forward, please kindly do me a WhatsApp message to the WhatsApp number that we usually use, the 0817029407. This is the reality of the situation. I would have also gone ahead to publish the report that, in fact, if you do me a message, I can send you the reports on, so you can see. And it's an open, I'm not doing anything with it. I can send you a report that Barrister Jugo sent so that you'd see for yourself how far we have come if you do me a message on a suggestion. Because I don't know if everybody will want to see the reports. There's details of, and again, I feel like because her story is very compelling, it can, and the stories of the other ladies that are amputated, it could actually perhaps garner enough sympathy to get her some fund in GoFundMe and perhaps help her complete her house, which is the only solution she may have, because to her, she feels that it is a way of helping, keep her husband's legacy, her dead husband, her late husband's legacy, based because he died, during the attack. So I don't know. It's open to.
Thank you so much. I'm sure the people listening and they will interrogate all that you have said. Let me just leave so that other people can come in. Thank you so much.
I can't fail to thank you. You've been awesome. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for encouraging me and pushing me the way I don't like to be pushed. I don't like to come up with these things I do, but you're just making me bring out my leg outside. Well, thank you all the same. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Good night. Yeah.
Good night and God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah. You too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Sincere apologies for keeping you perpetually on hold. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me? Thank you, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Precious.
All right, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, God bless you for the wonderful work you are doing.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
God will continue to empower you to do more.
Ami lórúkọ Jésù. Thank you. Go ahead.
As long as you have a progressive mind, God will always support it.
Ami, thank you.
That's good for you.
Thank you. Please go ahead with your contribution.
So my name is Prince Jejeman.
My IPOB brother, B?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Representing IPOB.
It's okay. Anytime I hear Prince Jejeman, I remember. Go ahead, brotherly.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you, my sister. You see, why I called today is to remind the Nigerians. Nigerians always forget. You see, the election that is coming up, or the selection that is coming up in 2027, every Nigerians after the 2023 elections, they started shouting electoral reform, restructuring, electoral reform, restructuring. Within 6 months, they have forgotten everything. Now the template that has been there is INEC and the judges. They are the template that decide who wins and who do not win. The template is still there, and they are live doing the same thing over and over again. No be madness with that. Now, including our the obedient champion, Obi, is not talking about the restructuring. They are not talking about the electoral reform, and they want to enter into this competition with the vampires APC. That's what I call them in my own understanding. They are vampires, because as people are dying, people are being killed, kidnapping are going on in Edo. Their army are shooting, their police are shooting, killing. They are not talking about that. No army is coming out to issue statement that this is bad or this what our men do is not good. Everybody is keeping silent as for all their bloody civilians. What the politicians and the APC are interested in is 2027. 2027. Now the whole money that was realized from subsidy, the whole money is just being used to bribe all the governors to join APC by thunder by fire. If you cannot take bribe, they will use EFCC to come against you to join at all costs. Tell me what is good about APC. International community have told us that they are from Canada, that they are terrorist organization, them and the PDP. That's what they told us, because Nigeria cannot talk. You see, my sister, unfortunately, the number 2 man, Shetima, told the Nigerians that restructuring under his foot, and this is the person that is the VP of Nigeria. And if that country is not restructured, people will continue to die. If there's nothing like a electoral reform, the selection is useless. Are you getting me? This is the reason why we IPOB, we are ever consistent with what we want. We are focused on what we want, which is Biafra. Because your guest said today on your platform that what is Malami that is being indicted of 200 and something billion. Just one person stole 200 and something billion. Now the abracadabra is always the same thing. They will arrest the person, suddenly they will release the person. And when he goes back to his region, their people will say, they are persecuting him. Because
try and help me hurry up a bit here so that I'll talk to others. People are calling too. Sorry.
Okay, dear.
Thank you.
So the reason why every region are defending their own thief is because we are not one. So why not we separate in peace and let every thief go and take care of their own thief in their own way? Because Onyezi is an outsider. You will tie wrapper to cover your leg will get sore. I getting me? So if everybody have their own nation, you will defend your border from all the Fulani terrorist problem that we are having, or the Fulani problem that Nigeria is having. All those things will end. If anyone that know where he come from, he go follow where Mama dey, face where Mama dey. I getting me? So my sister, this is my own contribution. Without restructuring that country, without reforming the election, doing electoral reform, the country is going nowhere, and people will continue to buy.
Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and good night. Thank you. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Auntie Precious.
Welcome. What's your name, please?
Davo, please.
Davo, please make it quick. Go ahead, please. Thank you. Welcome.
Evening. Yeah, actually, I wanted to contribute on the governors freeing terrorists in Katsina. I don't know if you remember, there was a statement accredited to Sheikh Gumi. It was actually on our media when he said clearly that if CG Musa will continue to carry out attacks on bandits, they will make sure that his entire family are wiped out. I don't know if you remember that news. I think I had it on your platform, and also it was on social mainstream media as well. And the reason those statements is that most people who are in elective appointed as members of this government, their hands are tied, will not be able to do something. But the truth is that it's the president who is supposed to give the marching order. And the governor of Katsina, if you remember, is actually a Fulani man. And I don't know why the Hausas have allowed these people, but I know 2027 will really redefine our political system. If only this present government will give us a free, fair, and credible election. And I want the European Union and also international observers who will be coming, because most of them, they are the ones who used to give money for these elections, to be sponsoring our elections. So I would want all civil society and other organizations to make sure that we have a free, fair, credible election. Because Mrs. Leng, who was from the UK, was the one who actually, Richie Sunak was the first person who congratulated TINUBU, even though it was not a people's mandate, but they were the ones who, as our colonial masters, congratulated him. So we don't want a repeat of such in next election. And also talking about the happenings between Wiki and Fubara, the truth is that they are not really putting the people of Rivers first, because that state produces a lot of amount of money, and I believe it's part of those money that Wiki was able to use to sponsor PDP. And now that's why you see PDP was so strangled that he always dictated, and whenever someone goes against him, he will begin to mention how much I gave this and that person. So a lot of people, politicians are afraid, so that they don't want to be exposed. That's why they prefer to just keep quiet and then allow Wike to have his way. And you can see it is taking a very big toll on our electoral system. I'm sorry, I just stopped the car. I'm just trying to. I remove my seatbelt. That's why I'm making this sound. So that's the problem we have, and we're just praying that the cycle of these politicians, they have really caused serious damage to us. You can see people like El Rufai, it's just like a circulation. He has left his son in APC, but he himself, he's in ADC. That's why you see the other day when I was contributing, I told you that they normally share themselves. All they want is they have their own interests. But I don't know. That's why I always say how I wish the Igbos will have that kind of wisdom. Because you see, like someone like an Obi is a very straightforward person, upright person. But you see, people like Rochas or Korocha will always say, when did Obi even join politics? We have been there. Like people like Odius or Carlo will say, we have been there since how many years? This young man just came yesterday, and what did he want to show us? I see, you see, like the Fulani will always say that this is the person who will be our leader, and they will queue behind the person. And I would wish the Igbos will learn from that, and so that you can give Obi the chance this time around. Me, I'm actually supporting Obi, to be sincere, but I'm not supposed to say my candidate on your platform, because I know you are supposed to be neutral because you are a moderator on this program. And you are doing a good job, and a lot of Nigerians in and abroad are following you, and they are very happy with what you are doing. Pray that God continue to give you more wisdom and strength, so that our nation will become a better country. Because look at us, we are doing well in sports, but in the music industry we are doing well. In the film industry we are doing well. The only area we are not getting it right is the political system. And once if the political system we get correct person, all other aspects will fall into online. God bless you.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you so much, Davos. Good night. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello, good evening.
Yes,
Precious.
sir.
This year, sir, it sounds heavy.
No vex. Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Chris. I'm calling from United Kingdom.
Trix, you're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I had the question T.Y. Daduma put on your desk. You know, and that's one of them he answered that I'm not satisfied with, which is the tax. It's a Nigeria has not grown to be taxed. Nobody should be taxed in Nigeria, except you work for the government. You provide water for yourself, electricity for yourself, everything you provide for yourself. Why are you taxing? Why are you taxing? And to make the matters worse, I was expecting your guests to say, before they introduce that tax to us, they should first of all have accountability. We are living today, they say the tax I pay. They send you the papers that says which area, part of that tax is going. That's how you should be. That's how you should be, you know. And I tell you one thing. I've read books that say Africans shouldn't be taxing. That's why Africa remains poor today. Because these people, the way they organize themselves, this tax they take from the rich and distribute it to the poor. That's why they're taxing them. Nothing more. That's the fact. So if we have all the mineral resources, everything we have, we submit it to the government. Yet we don't ask anything from them. Just leave us alone. Let us fetch what we will eat. Yet you come inside that what we will eat to tax us. You see, the biggest mistake Nigerians have ever made is to allow this government to introduce anything called tax.
All right, thank you.
It's pure.
Thank you.
You pay for your school children, everything. You done all these things, and you are being taxed again. Good luck to them if they allow it to happen. But it hurts me.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you and good night. All right. Somebody just brought that story to my to my knowledge. The story about Malami having arms in his house. So that's something that happened. I think late yesterday, when they see plenty gun for inside the house. In fact, they said the number of arms were so much that it attracts a full DSS investigation. And so far, they don't hand the matter over to DSS for further investigation. So they will see as the matter will go. Hello, good evening and welcome. Sir?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Perune the talk.
All right, you're welcome.
Yesterday, I was listening to your program. You said that your tourism president is back. Please, I would like to know when is the tourism president embarking the next traveling, please, and destination.
That's the only reason you called me.
No, I want to know because the way you are the president, they travel. Two people are there, a tourism president, and they call him now. You know? And because some people they will say he can walk anywhere. He's not preaching any contract and all this. Please, can somebody name?
No, it's not about walking anywhere. It's about telling people his whereabouts. We have the right to know. I mean, I don't know of any president in the world that just goes around and stays anywhere and under the radar without people knowing their whereabouts. I've been only Nigeria kids find it different.
Somebody tell me any world leader that's traveling the way this man is traveling. Is there any world leader somebody can tell me that's traveling the way this man is traveling?
I'm not aware. Thank you.
This man has been up to just 2.5 years in office. If you check the number of days he traveled, it's even more than the days he's been in Nigeria. He's calling himself the president of Nigeria. I don't know. This is why sometimes when people say they want, last time I was telling you, say, I should not discuss about this, the stabilizing of Nigeria in your platform. Because how many years is Nigeria now? After the independence, and a family man of 60-something years with six wives and many children, if he cannot take care of it, if his children are suffering now, is there any more hope? When is he going to take care of his children? At the age of 100 years or what? I don't understand.
Okay. All right.
Why do we like to deceive ourselves? We all know that this country is not working. Let us find the best way. Like people are saying, this restructuring. These people are not bringing it. So the only way out is to let everybody go his own way and struggle. Why are we are talking of 2027, which is not going to bring anything? We know that this election in Nigeria is nothing. Nobody trusts any election in Nigeria. So let us keep on deceiving ourselves instead of doing the right thing. I don't know. Well done. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. Lots of calls still coming through. We could see what I could just attend to a few of them. And yeah, so according to the news, we wait for full EFCC investigation into the Malami incident because, in fact, it said the number of arms we didn't see for inside the house, it is so alarming, and the EFCC could not handle the matter, obviously, because it's not within their purview, within their jurisdiction to handle. So we hope, say, the DSS will do due diligence on the matter. And then what's this thing about keeping unspecified arms for inside your house as a government, a former government public officer? Hello, good evening and welcome. Mr. Edwin, good evening, sir.
Precious.
Sir?
How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir. Thank you.
How are you?
I did fine, sir.
I've been trying to reach you. I've been trying to reach you since you feel like when I'm busy for studio, nobody did pick.
No vex.
No, wahala. I've not spoken for a long time. I decided to Nigeria matter don't tire me.
I think say you for join from front office, sir.
No.
Okay,
I will join next time. Maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I just wanted to reiterate one comment, one issue that is bothering me. We've been talking about Nigeria and the governance space, but we are not really addressing the main issue or the elephant in the house. Now, INEC, what is happening to the electoral reform process and processes. Let me put it that way. What is happening? Because we seem to be concentrating on other issues without looking at the critical matter before us. If we don't reform INEC, precious, and we don't reform the recruitment of the election officials, that is state resident commissioners, the national officers, and even the national commissioner, what is the name, chairman of INEC and those ones. You know, we are all simply chasing shadows because nothing is going to change. Nothing will change. You know, I've been saying this from day one. If we don't change that process, nothing is going. Because TINUBU is not Jonathan, and I keep repeating this very statement. Nothing, all our efforts will be in vain because APC and INEC will simply write results, and nothing, the heavens will not fall according to Wiki. So nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change. All our efforts will be wasted at the end of the day. That is my fear about this whole process. Because nothing is happening. We are not even taking the fight to the National Assembly. We are no state government or government, because they are all in APC now. Nothing. Why do you think they are going to the APC? Is it that APC is performing wonders? APC has transformed the lives of Nigerians positively? No. The simple reason is because they all fear election results will be written. And that is it. And we are not addressing it. We are talking, even the coalition or whatever is happening there now, nothing is happening. What sort of coalition is there that is going to fight TINUBU? Or will go shoulder to shoulder with TINUBU and the APC? No, nothing. So I think, you know what you're going to do, Precious? Sir? Before you commence the program every day, just put time, like I say, you go pin them, like as with the
oh God, that one. You see, the reason why make it be like say everybody they come on out with that thing, until the main political actors are ready to demand for the electoral reform, it will not happen. Because if now you be TINUBU, if now you be Akpabio, you go do a reform, we go make sure say you know go come back for that thing where you enjoy. They will not do it, not because they're oblivious of the what they have to do, but they will not do it. So, Peter, I'm coming. Peter Aka, when they wear electoral reforms, they were casting up and down. Who don't hear? Where see that for National Assembly for days and call? You don't understand Nigerian politicians and how they operate. Don't worry about that.
Precious, I do. Okay. If we put exact pressure on, put their neck for ground, match their neck, every day, if the civil society organizations can come together and form a force, you understand me? And then every day, from Tuesday to Thursday, when the National Assembly sits, if they are there every day, in the forefront, in the vanguard, leading this process, you understand me? It will happen. But if Nigerians, Nigerians are very passive, withdrawn, we don't do anything, and we expect good governance. If we don't elect the right people, put them in the right places, in the right positions, nothing will change. Nothing. And every day, things are getting worse. These are getting worse. So it will be all futile efforts if we don't put our efforts strategically in fighting APC and TINUBU. It will not work. You will remember me for 2027. I will tell you, say, Precious, I not tell you.
Thank you.
You know, that is what is on ground.
Thank you.
ADC where would they think say that what do they call him? This man Atiku Abubakar, they won't feed. I don't tell you, say they are not feeding Atiku Abubakar. I told you before, you remember? I said they get person where they get for mine, and I will disclose that person to you later.
All right.
What I'm trying to tell you now is that one will not even work. That one will not work. Every Nigerian, when you go interview, they are very bitter with this current government. They are annoyed. But their annoyance will not change the outcome of electoral result. What happened in Edo State, na template, and that will be a child's play.
Thank you.
In 2027, before noon, TINUBU will declare president. Just mark my word. Every day when I will call you now, this one will take start. I'm supposed to talk, I've led with you today, but I'm not going to do that now. May I give us that chance to talk? When I call me back, now you make me go, otherwise I don't give up.
Thank you. No vex. Thank you so much.
Night. God bless you.
Thank you. Good night and God bless you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you. All right, sir. Okay, make I talk to my brother, the Barrys. The Barrys, good evening and welcome.
Good evening. Oh, see this man where they shout saying, "We don't give up." If you give up, all that idea when they bring, who go carry on?
Welcome.
I hope they listen to me, because if you give up, we not go give up. I like that idea where he bring back now. Say any day when go call, make him make him his own obligation. So they remind Peter don't they do, then we go to pick from angles. Before you know, you go make something. Anyways, my greetings to Shokpeton. I don't know whether you see there back here, he don't go.
Okay.
I say, yeah. Something where they cross my mind is that I don't know whether we want to practice the Western way of life, or we go back to our own traditional way of living. I'm wondering which one way we want to do, because if we want to catch up with the rest of the world, where the world don't go, it'd be like I don't know. They just I'm so disappointed in the TINUBU. But you guess what? TINUBU and Hope Uzodinma are the luckiest politician in my entire life where I don't witness in this world. These three people, in my opinion, maybe other people will get their own, but these three people, they're the luckiest politician, because they happen to come from, we can come from states where we don't, where if like say we don't tire, like Rivers people, something happened to us. Something just happened. See the way the man just there for this thing, for Rivers care. And then Hope Uzodinma with all the Garagawa Imo people, Imo State people, they say, now them be this, now them be that. See how the man just step on them, all of a sudden now, they just they run things. Now ain't go run things for TINUBU now. And then come to Nigeria. Nigeria don't get beat down. They don't beat Nigeria down. So TINUBU now just there on a cruise. He's just cruising across, just cruising over Nigeria. There's no, see, the three of them, you see as they just did, nothing they worry them. We don't collect the kind of money where we cannot even know what to do with money again. Private jet from Port Harcourt to Abuja landed. Come where one kind of what like saying they do spiritual, some kind of nonsense. They do ABBA. Nigeria. Anyway, I've been listening to the tax this way that Shock Masobe they talk about. See, I think something is wrong. That's why I asked whether we want practice our own way or we want catch up with the rest of the world. Because this tax matter is so, as I talk to you, Precious, I have tax form where they just send me for my business. I registered a new corporation. They sent me a tax bill. As I talk to you now, when I finish, I'm going to the tax office, put in the paperwork and pay the fee easily. The moment so Nigeria never start. This is what I did, Precious. I picked up a Nigeria. I went to Nigeria and took an industry that I know so much about. I drafted a system, a structure, right? It's a private sector. I took that document. I went to the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment with some people. Ngige was the permanent secretary, was the minister. When he saw the idea, Ngige told me, he said, young man, this is what Nigeria needs for those of you in the diaspora to bring. I told Ngige, order the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment to approve that industrial project within 6 days. The ultimate goal that I wanted to do was to get one sector of that the private sector, identify them, those that are in that area, identify them, set up something, train them, organize a database, set up a database system. That way, the government can easily tax them. So when you say you help people or you empower people, you go see say this particular sector. If we say the job that I was about to create, what is 10 million jobs across Nigeria? I have traveled to all the entire side. The only place I not been go that time, thank God, we were when Buhari first come in, we still go. I went to all the northwest. Now northeast I been never feel go. North central, southeast, southwest, everywhere. I was so lucky that nothing happened. We were driving from Abuja to everywhere. I did everything, Precious. Guess what? When they see the potential where they the project, this same ministry, when would they talk about president, governor? You see these ministry people, you see those devil servants, they saw the potential. Guess what they did? They set me up. Me and the waka, they travel from US, they come Nigeria 3 times a year. They put things in place. I go set them up. As I go come back, then go destroy them. I go fly back. I go build them. I was building it. Guess what? I ended up at the abattoir. You know what the abattoir for? What do they call it? Can you hear me? I know they hear you again.
Yes, I can hear you. I was just responding.
Do you know that they actually find a way? Just somebody wanted to be the president of the trade union. These people, they stole my signature. Take and begin the right certificate. They sell them. Now, Precious, as I dare like this, if you are telling what I don't go through for Nigeria, maybe I know they give up because I have the entire document. I'm coming back to do it in a different way. I won't give up. I won't give up on my people. I live in on 1 or 2 persons. I've given scholarship to a few people because the whole project, right? When it's a private sector, I am in the private sector since I've been in America. I only work in a corporate district for 3 years. I've been in the private sector and I understand private sector. I know what it takes. And that's the only thing. That's why I wanted to listen to Peter Obi. I said that this man, I understand how to build economy. The whole thing is about private sector. We get the platform, we get them. It's just to identify these areas in the private sector and find a way to set professional standard and give them hope. That's the cheapest thing in the whole world. Hope. And it's the most expensive thing for people to buy. It's just like you open a church. All you are doing is just selling them hope. And they will give you the entire life. Why can't we transform that and come back to these people who are full everywhere for Nigeria? Organize them, give them hope. The moment you give them hope, everything will work. That's all we need. It's just a tangible hope. Let me say, if I say I do mechanic, I feel just go train them. As I train mechanic, then I go get paper, say I don't train. That paper, they can go anywhere in the system. They go say, this person don't train. No, we sabi and say, see what he do. He is a professional. Just give them that title, professional mechanic. See what thing go happen. They will pay the tax where you want. They will do anything that you want. I don't know why the thing look like say what do you call it? It's not what is that word I'm looking for? It's not hard now. The people place everywhere. Let's just organize this private sector. Forget the other ones. Organize the private sector. Give them the title where they want. Let them put their listen. As you open business for America, the moment you put in your business in the system, guess what? They come to your mail. Credit cards. You are approved for about $500, $1,000 and blah, 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 just to buy things. That's the work of the bank. That's not what government tell the bank. We are giving you this money to administer this thing, to give a certain number of people. And before you know, things are just working. It doesn't not be magic. Precious, this will not be magic. It's so easy. But the problem, where would they get now? See, TINUBU, go again. I'm going to tell you this every day. Go and watch a documentary on American Gangster. That one, this one, a movie will come out. You see the way Frank Lucas run New York, where he go carry people, right? He go as a drug dealer. He go get people who go to work for him. He go to pay them. He go to monitor everything. He go get in click. That street where they occupy, nobody can sell anything on that block. Now the same thing where TINUBU they do. As if the politician, any political party supposed exist. They don't like competition. Those people, drug dealers, do not like not come on their block, can't sell anything. They go kill you.
That one of him now, they get drug leader. Who will get president? Who can be the drug leader?
All
right, good night, sir.
How about the one that you get one drug where they been arrest for Lagos, where they put it in be like saying a military this way when army they protect they say they call a bag of sand. I saw this amount of drug where enter Lagos today. Where it in there? Where will be in control that matter? Where is it? So our president can't travel go one island within that period. He can't now so then they operate. See the way they operate. Let nothing challenge him. No political party should come up. Now only him. Now so then they now. I don't say I'm finished. I said all we need in Nigeria is to find somebody. Oh my God, go and bring Donald Duke for me now. Put them pray. I'll go do. Bring people where get brain. You see, say everybody go just gravitate towards that energy. That's all it takes. Get the right human being. Have you not seen all our presidents? If you be dull person, the whole society go there dull. As Buhari come, they say they watch black and white. Now black and white TV now they watch. You don't see say everything light not good. Everything come there. It's down for grand. In Nigeria they play, but the shop say they watch TV. Now for black and white, now sit down for grand folding 2 legs. How you expect that kind of person to grow a country? This thing we don't move small. The man shut everything down. So, my sister, we go. I not go give up. Like I said, I just make sure say the listen to people. We go they follow small. One way. It doesn't. The whole country don't have to be fixed. One sector at a time. Small. We not go die. Like I said, the last thing we want to do is to.
We need to go anywhere.
We don't go anywhere. We go fix them. But again, finally, I know they like to talk this, and I know say no go like them. In order for us to succeed, we must let these Fulani people leave us alone, because they don't have any idea about what we are talking about. They don't care. I'm sorry, I know they do like this, but and we need to start talking. Like Dr. Kaji talking, he's telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Only one thing when they always make me start, they wait for them on Thursday will come. He said my people came from what do you call it? Some kind of no. We actually came from Ghana. We are of the Ashanti. That's where we disaster descendants, the Ogonis. No, most majority keep saying Congo. No, I can tell you a few words now where the same word where they for Ghana where they speak the same thing. So he not even know that one. I don't think he really get the clear this thing. Majority of our Ogonis migrated and from where our ancestors came from Ghana, of the Ashanti tribe. If you hear Kwame, you know, things like Nkrumah, like Ado, those are our languages, and the same thing in Ghana. Even there was see our build, see the structure, the same way we are. So I don't know where he get his own information from, but I go wait for him on Thursday. So I go, you know, we'll go figure this thing out. Make I give him more on that particular thing. Right. So anyway, thank you. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a great one.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. Good night and God bless you. Thank you. All right. Hello. Good evening and welcome. Good evening. Evening. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, Precious. This is Fine calling from Bristol.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
So I'm just calling because I was listening to this other guy that was talking about.
That was talking about what? Oh dear. I don't know if you're still there. Can you hear us? That was talking about what? I lost you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. That was talking about Wiki and Uzodimma being the lucky politicians.
Okay.
So, you know, sometimes, you know, in a country when you have criminals ruling, when you have the criminals in aim of government, you always have criminals people, you know, come along, you know. They have always been there, but if you trace it back, you see they have strong ties. You know, just today I was just thinking about Uluwole. There's a place in Lagos Island, they call it Uluwole. I remember when I was a child, I was a small little child, we used to go there to buy passport, you know, fake passport, you know. Anything fake you can get from there, you know. These are the people that are ruling. This Uluwole, because Uluwole is there, it's no more, that place has been closed down. But right now, the government in power, they are Uluwole. That's what they are. If you look at Hope Uzodimma that he's talking about, is there anything genuine about that man? Just look at him. The same thing with Wiki. There's nothing genuine about him also.
Why? So, you mean governors of states and former governor?
If you look at their history, look at their history. How did they get to where they are? They fight themselves, they kill people, they get organized just to get to where they are. So you can see that these people, they're not gentlemen. There's nothing. And when a country is ruled by people like that, you're not going to see progress. And exactly what's happening in Nigeria, there's no progress. You know, everybody is just shouting here, shouting there. TINUBU will do whatever he wants to do because he has an agreement with those Fulani people to just make sure that they turn the country upside down. TINUBU is a strong Muslim. Forget that he married a Christian as his wife. He's a strong Muslim. He believes in all those ideology. So you're not going to wake up one day and just change it. In fact, it is the force of America, the pressure and the fear of Donald Trump. That's why you see that he has asked the army people to start attacking these people. If not, they will just leave it like that until they take over the whole country and give him power. And then after he rules second time, he will leave. So I think at this point, we should be, as Nigerians, we should all come together. I keep saying this thing, we should all come together as one. And then find a way, you know, sitting down in National Assembly is good. But not when you have maybe 100 people sit down there and then they throw tear gas and then everybody run away. Look at what's happening in Iran. How many days has that been going? When you have a tyranny in power, They don't lose power easily. They don't give it away like a la carte, as TINUBU said. They will not give it away like Jonathan, who is so gentle. We just want to say, okay, this is a fact. I can see the figure. No. Even if they are doing election today and TINUBU is losing and he sees it, he's going to stop the election and make sure they rig him there. But the only thing that will fear him is when he sees that millions of Nigerians come out. You see what happened in Tollgate the other time? I saw TINUBU was being interviewed. He was shaking. He was, I can tell you, that thing touched him. If not that the fact that at last minute, they ordered the army to start killing people with live bullets, and that thing was dissolved. That incident alone will have turned Nigeria around. So when you see people like that, the only thing that can remove them, it is massive protest. Who expects that Iran, with the Islamic leader they have, you know how many years they had them? Look at what's happening there today.
People are dying.
They are insisting that this people must go. And millions, just look at it. That's what you call people who are interested to make changes. Nigerians are not interested.
So you want many Nigerians come out and die? Nobody won't die now. You go agree come out and die.
Let me give you a simple example. Even what happened in Port Harcourt in Rivers State, that's a small country. What happened? The establishment, the criminals, are they not taking over now? They are the ones ruling. The Port Harcourt people or the real people will not come in millions. Stay in the rain, stay in the sun, non-stop. Non-stop. Look, it is the crowd. When they see that and the world is beaming on that spot, they shake. So you cannot go to National Assembly, you say you carry 200,000 people, you go and sit down, they will dismiss you. It has to be millions. Everybody will come out. And when they surrender with them, they can't go out. They stay there, they can't go in. For days, for weeks. I'm telling you, nothing will stop them. It's either they run for their life or they beg to change the law the way we want it. So the people are still the one. And all these things will be ADC, the Labour Party. It is still going to be down to the people at the end of the day. Because there's no way you have an election in Nigeria without the people marching out and say this is what they want. You know, Nigerians can actually do it. No matter what electoral law they are putting, no matter when the people come out and say they are ready, they will change that country. Because you know why? Every people who are sitting down during the election, they will stand with them and say, look, if you do it, you will die, you won't live here. You know that slogan that says, rig and die? It touches APC heart. They were shaking when they heard it. They didn't want Nigeria to start singing that logo. That is one thing, because when you say rig and die, up to the judiciary, up to everybody, they will be afraid because they don't know what's going to happen. Those NYC people who they will give 1 million, 10 million to go and rig, they will be afraid. So Nigerians have to come with a slogan that everybody will follow. And it has to be at every point of, look, yesterday I was listening to what is this man, the EFCC man, coming out to say that he has done his job, that it is now judiciary and APC leaders who are holding, what is this man's name? The former, is it Ododo?
Yes, no, Bello, Yahaya Bello.
Yahaya Bello, yes. That they are the ones holding. Can you imagine that people of Kogi, they are there? They cannot come out in millions or even hundreds of thousands.
But I thought they said they are not politically, they are not in any way. There is not political interference in EFCC. How come he's not blaming the EFCC, the APC? So that's also an interference now. I've been interference.
Do you believe anything this government say? This government
Thank
is
you,
full
Mr.
of lies.
Simon. Thank
There's
you so much,
nothing
Mr.
they have
Simon.
said that is not full of lies. Just 1 minute before I round up. You see, at the last point, I will say at this point, apart from calling on Nigerians, not just in huge amount to come out and follow up changes, the other thing that will not change is the fact that this government will not change, except Nigeria change. So when we are coming here, we should all call on the sense of Nigeria to waken them up, because the time is running so quickly. And nobody wants to come in second term of TINUBU. When the first time is like this, second term is going to be really, really hellfire for Nigerians. They should just know that. Thank you very much, Precious, for giving me this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package this evening. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's been part of the show. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys. I mean, we've had a fantastic conversation today. Let's do this again tomorrow. And on Wednesday, hopefully, we should be having the APC spokesperson join us here in the show. And it promises to be a great conversation as usual. For now, ensure you protect your mental health. And I don't say wahala need to finish for Nigeria. So he who, worries about Nigerian problem and runs away lives to worry another day. So that you don't affect your mental health too much over Nigeria's situation, because Nigeria can be a very interesting place to deal with. Thank you so much. If you've not followed us across social media platforms, please ensure you do that. Follow us across all social media platforms, apart from Facebook for now. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Precious Enyi TV on all those platforms. I love you guys so dearly. Protect your mental health. Good night and God bless you. Bye.